Hello and welcome to Build Up to a Good Game. We're an hour and 4 minutes away from kickoff as Aston Villa take on West Ham United at Villa Park. The Villains unbeaten in 10 on their home soil, but West Ham unbeaten in 11 against Aston Villa. So will one of those records be broken, or will they? But perhaps they'll both remain. It'll be a stalemate at Villa Park. Get the lineups in just a few minutes' time. I'm looking forward to this one actually. But before we get the lineups. Well, they're not out yet, so you're going to have to wait a few minutes anyway. Let's bring him in, Mr. Gonzo. Gonzo, how is oneself?
I'm very well, thank you, young man. How are you?
I'm good. I'm looking forward to it, actually. I think the lack of 2 p.m. game has starved me of football today. I know there's like other football on. I just had the Bundesliga one on. The Bundesliga's on, the Scottish Premiership's on. But the lack of English Premier League game so far is made me hungrier for today, if you like.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, we both gorged on sport yesterday, didn't we? We both had a feast of football, and less said about the rugby. The better, obviously, you're not so bothered yourself, I know. But yeah. So I'm looking forward to today. Definitely, it's been really interesting reading the comments the last few days from the Aston Villa fans for sure. So I think they thought we were quite even-handed in our appraisal, particularly your team, your selection of Villa players in the amalgamated team. But yeah, mate, it's going to be a tough game, but it's there for the taking. This is an important game, Geo. I think a really, really important game.
I told you it was the right team, by the way. I didn't see anyone say I was wrong. Yeah.
The mixed one?
Yeah. Didn't see anyone say I was
incorrect. There was one. No, someone said completely deluded. Yeah. Oh. But that was one. That was one naughty little trolling Villa fan. The rest of the Villa fans
put up his team?
Complimentary. What?
Did he put up his team?
No, of course he didn't. He just wanted to criticise. Just wanted to criticise your team. He had nothing to offer himself. All the rest of the Villa fans thought you were very even-handed.
Anyway, Danny, good luck. Danny's in the home end today. People can't cover up your face, Danny. Mate, you probably shouldn't have that. No, I doubt there's any Villa fans.
Danny, watch your phone with the people behind you as well.
I doubt there's any Villa fans watching the stream right now that's at the game. So I think you're pretty safe. But Danny's in the home end. He's gone undercover today. To watch the game. So good luck and have a good one there. The lineups will be out in a few minutes' time, but I can tell you that myself or Gonzo is correct. Yesterday we caught our predictions, so myself and Gonzo tried to guess what David Moyes is going to do. We agreed on 10 players, disagreed on 1. I think Antonio will start. Gonzo thinks Kudus will start. Well, one of us is correct. We'll wait for official confirmation, Phil. But hey, at least it means you've got at least 10 out of the 11 right, Gonzo. Perhaps you've got a full house.
We'll see. Do you know what? It's all guesswork anyway. I think we've done reasonably well. The trouble is not whether we can guess it; it's whether Unai Emery can guess it. And if one of us two can guess it, Unai Emery can guess it. We probably, and when I say we, I mean David Moyes probably can't predict what Emery's going to do quite as well as Emery.
I bet he can. I've got 30 seconds. I'll tell you what I think the Villa team's going to be: Martinez, Cash, Konsa, Torres, Lucadine, Douglas Luiz, Kamara, McGinn, Diaby, Zaniolo, and then Watkins. I bet you that's a Villa team. So if I can guess it, Moyes can guess it, right?
Well, not necessarily.
We'll see. I could be wrong, but I'm quite confident. Wood Hammer said today is another barometer of where this West Ham side is. A win, and we could be announcing ourselves as a permanent resident in the top 7 this season.
Whoever wins this gets European football this season, as Geo said.
That's a bold claim. Anyway, let's get the West Ham starting 11 up today. Unfortunately for Gonzo, I was correct. And unfortunately for Mohamed Kudus, I was correct. In goal for West Ham is Alphonse Areola with a back 4, a Soufal at right back, Kurt Zouma partners a Gerd at centre back with Emerson at left back, Edson Alvarez is in defensive midfield with Thomas Souček and James Ward-Prowse next to him. Lucas Paqueta on the left, Jarrod Bourne on the right, Mikel Antonio up front.
That's an excellent team. Well, unless you're Mohamed Kudus, he's probably getting a bit fed up by now. He's probably looking at it thinking, what can I do? What can I do? Oh, come on, I changed the game against Newcastle. I'd probably have the ump if I was him, quite frankly. But Antonio's got a point to prove now because I don't feel Antonio should have been picked ahead of Kudus. I don't know, you weren't saying that. You were just saying what you thought Moyes would do. He's got a point to prove. Antonio has to be better than Kudus today, basically.
Yeah. We'll do the bench and we'll have a look at the Villa side in a minute. And the West Ham bench, might not be open your screen, depends how fast Charlie can type. If he's done it already, he's quite impressive. Fabianski on the bench alongside Pablo Fornals and, of course, Mohamed Kudus. We've got Mavropanos on there with Danny Ings and Ogbonna. Then we've got Saïd Benrahma, Tilo Kehrer, and Devin Mubama. So that's the West Ham bench. The team is expected, and the bench as expected. Moyes did suggest that Creswell and Johnson were a little bit too far behind with their fitness to be back for this one. Whether that's true or he just doesn't want to use them remains to be seen. And obviously no room for Maxwell Cornet. Now, maybe Cornet is injured, but there's potential that Moyes is selecting Mubama ahead of Cornet for the bench this afternoon. But they're the obvious exclusions I can see. I don't think there's anyone else that we're missing. So there you go.
That'd be great, wouldn't it? It'd be brilliant, I think, if he's done that.
Yeah, if he has selected Mubama over Cornet, I think that says a lot to Mubama, actually. And I think it says a lot to Cornet as well. But there you go.
Yeah, it's 6-1, half a dozen the other. I think Moyes been very, very stubborn, but I also think, probably Cornet didn't read the room by disappearing for as long as he did for such a long time, So, yeah, it's going to be. There's no way back for him. He's not going to feature of any regularity at West Ham. It's just how long until he gets a transfer away. But also Mubama needs to be given some encouragement, and so hopefully this is what will be interesting. Is if. To be fair, I can't see a situation where Danny Ings comes on maybe at any point before the 85th minute. So not particularly come on to impact the game massively, because I think if he needs to impact the game, he'll bring Kudus on. What would be interesting is if David Moyes does look to make a striking substitution. That would be really interesting if he brought Mubama on at some point.
Yeah, I think it's quite obvious what Moyes was going to do. There's no surprise there. I would have liked to have seen Kudus start. I can't say it's hard to get really upset about it when you weren't expecting it, kind of thing. I just hope, and that's what I said to you yesterday. I just hope that worst case scenario for Kudus is he's coming on in the 50-something minute and not the 72nd minute. I'm hoping that he's moved himself right up the pecking order. He's man number 12. Last couple of times we've seen him off the bench in Premier League games, it's been with Saïd Benrahma, almost like Benrahma has to come on in order for Kudus to come on as well. We have to change shape in order to play Kudus. We don't need to do that. We don't need to bring Benrahma on as well, but we can bring on Kudus. And if he doesn't want to put Benrahma on for 40 minutes, that's fine, don't. But put Kudus on, because with the greatest respect to Moyes, he doesn't use 5 subs. It's very rare he uses all 5 subs. Sometimes he'll use all 3 windows, but he doesn't use all 5. So him going early with 1 in Kudus doesn't impact him later on in the game. It's not like he usually uses all 5, and going early with 1 might disrupt what he intends to do later on. It's not a thing. He's not a manager like Arteta who usually uses all 5 substitutes. He doesn't. So if we need Kudus on early, if half-time is not, change at half-time. You don't want to use one of your slots, that's fine. You can only stop the game 3 times, fine. Change them at half-time, so you've still got your 3 slots in the second half, but go early with Kudus. That's my only hope. We've seen the Lem now. We'd like to see him start, but now it's a case of, right, well, what's the next best scenario? And that is Kudus is an early substitution should we need him. He's never going to do it pre-halftime. I get that. I'm not asking for that. But if come 45 minutes, Souček or Antonio, it's one of them, because Bourne could be having a stinker. He's not going to take him off. Paqueta could be he's not going to take him off. But if Souček or Antonio are not impacting the game, they're playing poorly at halftime, let's get Kudus on. Let's change it up so that when Emery comes out, while you, like you said, he's got the team sheet. Oh, that's what I thought Moyes should do. Well, let's rattle him at halftime a little bit and let him watch Kudus come out at halftime. Hang on a minute. Whoa. This wasn't in the what I got.
Absolutely.
My dossier I got from my coaching team never told me that David Moyes would be doing subs at halftime. So that's the one thing I would like to see.
Yeah, I like the team, Geo. Look, I'm not annoyed or angry about the team at all. I like the team. I just think Kudus might be. I think I just always suspect that Antonio doesn't travel well. I was going to say, even in short distances in his car, he doesn't travel well. He don't particularly like the plane either. So I wouldn't necessarily have done it. But if we get beast mode Antonio today, I'm not going to be cross with the selection at all.
Yeah, I do feel he's taking a small gamble, if you like. But anyway, I'm sure we'll see Kudus at some point. And just as a reminder for West Ham fans, Edson Alvarez, Emerson, and Lucas Paqueta are all on 4 yellow cards. So should any of those or all of them get booked today, they will miss next weekend's game against Everton as well. Something that probably won't be taken into consideration too much, but 3 players, 1 yellow card away from suspension. Now let's take a look at Aston Villa 11, and I got it right. The Aston Villa 11, Martinez in goal, the back 4 of Cash, Konsa, Torres, and Dean. In midfield, they've got Kamara and Louise with John McGinn. They've also got Zaniolo with Diaby, and then Ollie Watkins up front.
Yeah, well, you heard it here first. Basically, both of them, all of it first, all of it. What's their bet? But you know their bench as well, didn't you?
I'm trying to think. There's one player missing. I thought he was available. I thought Duran was available, but he's not on the bench, so maybe he's not. Duran.
Indeed. Yeah, good team. Really, really good team. It's gonna be. It has to be a close game. You can't imagine. Well, you can imagine it, but it's hard to think that either team are going to necessarily run away with this. It's going to be a cagey affair, isn't it?
Yeah, you think so. I mean, like we said, it's expected from Aston Villa as well. It's a very strong team. They do have a strong bench. We'll get onto that in just a second. In fact, we'll do it now so I can put my phone down. The Aston Villa bench is Olsen, their substitute keeper. They've also got Carlos, who's a centre back on there with Tielemans. Then they've got Charoui along with Callum Chambers and Longley. They've got Leon Bailey on the bench with then Donker, and Kellyman is on the bench as well for the Villains this afternoon. So that's your Aston Villa starting 11 and a substitute bench today. A strong Villa team, very strong Villa team. If I was a Villa fan, I'd be very happy with that starting 11. I'd be thinking, here we go, that's good enough to win. And it is. Doesn't mean I think we'll get beat, by the way. It's just a very good starting 11. They've got a strong bench too. We both do. Both got game changers. They need a goal. They've got Bailey on there. They need to tighten up defensively. They can switch to 3 at the back with Carlos on there as well. They've got Tielemans and Donker that can play in midfield. Perhaps neither of them are in great form. I'm not a big fan of either of them at Villa. But there's plenty of options. So, yeah, a very strong West Ham team and a very strong Aston Villa team. Both sides in really good form, having good seasons. So it should be an interesting battle. But we want to know how you think about the West Ham starting 11 because the poll is now live in the live chat. There's 4 options. Please select which one reflects your opinion on the West Ham starting 11, the closest, please. And when Charlie pops on in 20 odd minutes, we'll find out what the results are and see what you're all thinking. But while you're all watching live, please do drop a like on the video. Click that thumbs up underneath the screen, underneath where me and Gonzo are. There's a little thumb up icon. Click it. It helps this video. It helps the channel out. And if you're new to Hammer's Chat, please do subscribe as well. What we're going to do, if you're new around here, subscribe. But if you're new around here, myself and Gonzo now are going to pop onto Bet365. We're going to compile a little bet together. And if it wins, we'll give one of you guys some money. Hopefully, we can win a bit of cash. We've been close on a couple of occasions so far this season. Anything you're fancying for today, Gonzo?
It's hard to put Antonio because I don't think he's going to feature all game. I think a Thomas Souček goal, actually.
Well, I'm going to put in Kamara and Paqueta both to do at least 2 fouls. Right. And you want a Souček. We'll do shot on target because I want to win money. So we'll do Souček shot on target because that's decent odds so far. We both think both teams will score. So let's put that in. That gives us odds of 10 to 1. Probably, do you reckon both teams will get a yellow card? I mean, bump that up. Ugh. Let me check the corners, and if the corners are anything tasty, we'll do that. Yeah, that'll do. That'll do. Right, Gonzo, I've got it.
Yeah.
Well, of course, the odds have gone down as I'm placing. Anyway,
We'll
do £100. Right, if this bet wins, one of you win £100 cash. We'll tell you how to enter in just a second. Now, there's quite a lot of moving parts to this bet, so there are a lot of things, but I think it's quite realistic. We don't need anyone to score, for example. So we need Paqueta and Kamara both to do 2 fouls or more. We need Thomas Souček to have a shot on target. Both teams to score. Both teams get a yellow card, and both teams get 3 corners. Right? So, £100 cash. A lot of moving parts, but will West Ham get 3 corners? Surely. Will we get a booking? Surely. Will Villa? You'd imagine so. So, a lot of moving parts, but we're all right. £100 cash to enter in the live chat. Please put the following phrase.
The Kamara never lies.
The Kamara never lies. Get that into the live chat, and you're entered into the bet giveaway. Should it win, one of you win £100 cash. Sorted. Bill, I am being cautious because we've not won any bets so far this season. So if Gonzo leads the next bet, he'll be going for a Gerd goal, Ward-Prowse assist, Alvarez sent off, and Unai Emery to streak across the pitch in the 70th minute at 1,000,000 to 1. There you go. The Kamara never lies. Get that into live chat. Anyway,
to be
Gonzo.
fair, when Geo goes to his next boy band concert, we'll do it. We'll sort it out. A right old bet up. Don't worry. It'll be a grand for a grand for 3 people or something.
Right, yeah. I mean, if it wins, which it won't, but sure. Anyway, Gonzo, you've seen the teams. How are you feeling?
Good. Yeah, I like it. I the team has not altered how I was feeling when we did the preview or anything else. I'm just, do you know what? I'm pleased people didn't get injured on international duty. I think that's really good. Clearly, he feels a lot more confident in Alvarez now because he's obviously done the travelling as well. So I think he must have had him back for a bit on Friday or something like that for a little bit of a, light rundown or whatever they do, a little jog around the training pitch or whatever it is they do. As you can tell, I haven't got my UEFA licenses yet, but I think if Moyes is clearly confident in them and they're fit, then I feel just as much as I did before. And Antonio being in there, it's probably a good thing. That's if he's on top mode, and he has to be, then I want to see him bullying the centre backs. Let's really try and put them under pressure. Really, really have a go. Let's put them to the test. And if it doesn't work, then he can do the Kudus thing. So I'm happy with it, really.
I think Villa's left side's there to be got at with Torres and Dean at left back. I think Antonio over there and then Bowen over there in form. Hopefully Kudus to come off the bench and go over there as well. I think if we're going to get success out of this game, it's going to be going down our right-hand side up against Villa's left side. They will push the fullbacks up quite high. They will attack us. It gives us room. I think Villa's weakness is defending counterattacks. Our strength is attacking counterattacks. So that marries up as well a little bit. So it does give me a little bit of optimism for this game, actually. I'm looking forward to it. My big concern is Paqueta against Cash. I think it's because I'm such a good fan of Cash, but I think he's been in great form in the last few weeks. Really confident, loads of runs forward. Especially if they were to change it. If Emery was to tweak it in the second half and bring Carlos on and go 3 at the back, then we're in trouble, I think, because then you'll see Cash really pushing up and also becoming a right winger, keeping Diaby in field. So I think Paqueta's going to have to watch him because Villa tweak it. Villa tweak their tactics every single game. I've seen Villa play about 4 or 5 games this season. They played different ways in every single game has been different. They haven't played the same way twice yet. That worries me a little bit because if they were to watch how Newcastle attacked us in the second half, I strongly feel that they're really focused on Paqueta and they got Kieran Trippier down that right a lot and he was getting in behind. He set up one of the goals and I think if they were to use Cash like that, that would worry me a little bit. And I think this is where you have a little bit of a downfall having Paqueta out on the left-hand side. But saying that, listen, I don't want an attack. I don't want a winger playing out there to do defensive work. I wouldn't want Fanal starting today, for example, just so he can chat Cash. I don't want that. And would Ben Rama do any better defensively? Probably not. I think he'd probably do worse. So that's my only area of concern. Lots of ways to attack them, but I think we're in for an interesting game. Actually, I'll be surprised if either side keep a clean sheet. I do think there's a couple of goals in this one at least.
Yeah, I do, and we're going to be a massive threat from set pieces. There's lots to admire about Villa, and but we've got our own players, and fortunately, I was going to be called off. But as you put it, the other day when you put whatever 5 of their players, 6 of ours, whichever way you did it, it's even Stevens, and their good players can really cause us a lot of bother, but our good players can cause them a lot of bother. So I would imagine we'll be going for corners again. Look, it might not be everyone's cup of tea, but if it works, then we're all going to be cheering at the end of it. But I really do think it's a massive opportunity. And I know I go through the season saying the same thing, but just sometimes games feel important, don't they? And I think because of the way the league is, because of the places we're in, because I do think we'll be battling it out with Villa, hopefully we'll be battling it out with Brighton as well come the end of the season. Games against these teams are important, and we win this and we go into the sort of position that allows us to start dreaming, quite frankly. Yeah,
I agree with that one. It's not just the position, it's who we're beating as well, isn't it? They're no mugs. It's not like we're ready to play Luton to go 5th in the league. We're 5th, yeah, but there's always a but. You beat Shot, yeah, but they were really bad. Well, hang on, I've just seen them give Man United a game, but sure. We draw against Newcastle, yeah, but we were really poor for the second half. We were, but we drew. Who's just gone and smashed Palace 4-0? Was it 4-0? They just wiped the Palace
all
off
over
the park. There you go. So there's always contact. So we go and beat this team. I don't think there's any excuses here. This is a top team in top form with a fantastic home record, great manager, great players in really good form. Ollie Watkins is finally up and running. Diaby's in sensational form at the minute. So if you beat them, that's it. There's no excuses given for our win almost. Now, what we're going to do is turn our attention to the live chat. So please get your thoughts in. It can be about the West Ham team, the Villa team, any hopes or fears you have. Not your score predictions. We'll leave them for now. Paul says Ward-Prowse is going to score from a free kick today. You heard it here first.
That would be nice.
Daniel says Kudus going to the African nations is the only reason he doesn't leave in January. And immediately under it, sometimes the live chat just works wonderfully. The next comment down is from Hammerboy08. Says all this Kudus is leaving is absolute nonsense. People need to get a grip. Lewis says we'd love to test patience of some of our new signings, suck the enthusiasm right out of them. Roger said Antonio doesn't bully anyone anymore. He's got no chance against their centre back. He does against Torres. Stay away from Konsa. Get up against Torres. Antonio will have joy, I promise you. Dean says Diaby's the one he fears. He's absolutely mustard. Lewis says if Antonio has a stinker, we hope he's dragged off at half time. He's starting to annoy me recently. Wish we'd try something else. Jay says can see this game finishing high scoring and a few cards. We need Paqueta and Alvarez to avoid them. One yellow from a ban. Can
I ask a question, Geo? You normally know this stuff. When does that refresh and get wiped out? The aggregate cards.
It's done. I think it's about 19 games. I'm pretty certain they changed it recently, like a few seasons ago, to dates rather than games. And it's 19 basically. After 19, it goes up to 10 games. But then if you hit 10 it goes up to 10 yellow cards. But should you hit 10 yellow cards, it's a 2-game suspension. So the probability is Alvarez, Emerson, and Paqueta will all get suspended at some point for the game. And they'll probably get suspended again later this season for 2 matches.
To be fair, Alvarez does deserve it. If those are the rules, Alvarez will deserve to get suspended for a game because I think he's brilliant, and he will always take an unselfish foul for the team if the team are in danger.
David said really want to sign Kudus. Was surprised we got him. Lose him in January, and Moy still feels he's not as good as what he has.
Yeah, sorry. Can I just say as well? I don't want to have played into this too much. When I said that he might start to get a little bit annoyed now, Kudus. I understand. I'm not for a moment saying that I think he's going to be demanding to leave. I just think David Moyes going to have to start throwing him a crumb or two now and start getting him to start some games. Otherwise, he'll get starting games.
He's starting him on Thursdays. It's not like he's not playing. He's starting every week. It's just in Europe.
I just want to say I don't think he's going to be demanded a transfer.
Yeah, I don't think it's an issue yet. I think if we were down the bottom of the table and struggling, I get it, but we're not. We're getting results. I don't know. He was responsible for us getting the equaliser against Newcastle, and I would have started him. I feel like he should have started today.
Yeah,
but I'm not at the point where it's a case of I agree with you. If he doesn't start, he's off. I don't see that whatsoever. We know Moyes is crap at schmoozing players. We know Moyes won't say to players, "Oh yeah, I'll start you." He does the opposite. You got to earn. I don't see why he would say anything different to Kudus compared to what he has with every other signing. So he's probably said to you, "You're gonna have to earn your spot." He will get it. He'll get plenty of game time. There's a good chance next weekend Paqueta's going to be suspended. Good chance Paqueta won't be here for the Everton game. So he'll start on Thursday against Olympiacos. He'll start against Everton. Then you'll start the following Thursday against Arsenal. Then he might start against Arsenal in the Carabao Cup. 3 starts in a row. And then we're back into the league game. There's three games to keep your shirt kind of thing. Maybe not for Paqueta, but from someone else. So he'll get loads of opportunities. I'm not too worried, truth be told.
And to be fair, I'm a West Ham fan before I'm a Kudus fan. We win the game. Honestly, if we win the game, I'm fine, and he's a substitute and he plays his role. It'd be brilliant.
Stephen says it's an important game. I hate talking about what if, but if it is a draw, how would you both feel?
I think it's the most nailed-on result, probably, Stephen, to be honest with you, mate. I sort of would expect that. I'll be fine. I'll be absolutely fine with a draw. Away from home, Villa Park. Yeah, I'll be happy with that.
Yeah, me too. Sean says Kudus should be starting, but at least he'll be confident when he comes on. Chris says Antonio will be knackered after about half an hour. Then Kudus can come on and show him what he's got. Hammer Boy says attack their fullbacks today and we'll do all right. I completely agree with that. Dean's weak. Cash gets forward. That's our opportunity there. Matthew says Kudus knows he's signed up for a project and sometimes that means being patient. If people think he's leaving because they haven't started in the first 9 games, then the thing is he's not even been here for 9 games. He wasn't here for the first 3 or 4 games of the season. We didn't sign him until the end of August. We'd already played 3 or 4 games, hadn't we? So
yeah.
He's not been available for all 9. So that's it. I think what's this? His 4th, 5th at most Premier League game, I think. Like I said, if we weren't winning, I'd get it. But we are. We're doing all right. Bernard said Antonio is now more of a player to bully the centre-backs. He doesn't score anymore. I'm never confident with him one-on-ones.
No, nobody is, to be fair.
Ionix, I love the results and attitude from the players so far this season. We're in a great position.
We really are.
Jamie says West Ham win. Emerson and Pac-Man combination with Cash well out of position. Benson says should never give Antonio a new contract. He's not been very good since. I completely agree with that, by the way. It's way too early to give him a new deal, especially when he was wanting out in the summer. Stevie says goals in this one. Expect Kudus to come on early in the second half if we need him. Daniel thinks Kudus is already annoyed. He's going to want Prem games. Chris said Villa's going to win. We will be low blocking on our goal line by the end of the game. Just checking that Chris is a West Ham fan. He is, because it's just the way he worded that.
Okay, I think Canning Town Len's done his picture.
Yeah, it looks like a Canning Town Len one, doesn't it?
Yeah.
But Canning Town Len does non-West Ham ones too.
Yes, he does, but he charges them more.
Good. Glenn says, should never have given Antonio a new contract. Can't drop him and upset him now. Right, let's have a little look. So keep your thoughts covered in. Bill says there's a possibility that at least 2 of them could end up suspended if Diaby and Cash have a good game today. Dean says, well, he's doing similar to what he did to Brighton, and Antonio is essential for that. See, the thing is, right, I don't want this to turn this into a Kudus versus Antonio video. It's difficult not to. I mean, you're guilty of it. It's really hard not to. But Antonio's been crucial to a lot of our goals this season, although he's not in them. If you look at our first goal against Newcastle, he's the one that gives it to Paqueta. He drags two centre-backs out the way, and then Emerson gets in the space, and then we've got the goal. The first goal against Sheffield United, he's bullying 2 centre-backs again. Bowen then comes into the space. Antonio's good at occupying defenders, and the other players like Souček, like Bowen, have greatly benefited from that. So has Antonio even touched the ball? No. But what he is doing, he's the equivalent of Firmino. When Firmino was at Liverpool, it was all Mane, Salah, and Klopp kept saying, Firmino's the one he's the one. Without him, we can't do it. And, that's why Firmino was never really judged on goals scored because of what he contributed to the team. It allowed Salah and Mane to score because of the job he did.
Similar team as well. Antonio and Firmino.
They do. Antonio's isn't as white. Anyway, thank you to James from E20's on TV. Thanks for the £6 super chat. Massively helps out the channel. Thank you very much. It's coming your irons. Lads, got to not see Kudus, but this 11 is strong. Kudus time is coming once we get the Europa League group done. Kudus winner is incoming.
Nice. That'd be nice.
Jay says, strange footage with Cornet from the West Ham channel. Thought he was going to be on the bench. Would rather him than Ings on there.
I didn't see this. A couple of people have mentioned.
Yeah, I've not seen it either.
Good in training or something. Interesting.
Eagle, Kudus's first. Thank you, James. Kudus's first game was 35 seconds against Luton.
Brilliant. 35 seconds. Fantastic.
It was exciting. I remember that now. It was exciting to see him come on.
Oh, I'll tell you what, 7 seconds of that 35, he was very good.
Hammer Boy says all 50 of Kudus's agents are in the chat today. Hi, Jen. If Jen's here, hi, Jen.
Old Meddlesome Switch or whatever her name is.
Yeah, I'm not ignoring Jen. She called out Fabrizio Romano, and anyone that's willing to call out Fabrizio Romano is someone I'm not prepared to get into an argument with.
Can I just say, well, it did make me laugh. I'm sure Sean won't mind me saying this, but she seemed to get offended because Fabrizio Romano tweeted a picture on the jet of Tim Steidten, and he said Tim Steidten pictured on the jet with Mohamed Kudus. Jen got annoyed. She said, "Hold on, no mention of me in the picture." And a couple of days later, I think Sean on his Twitter page, but pictured here on the jet is Mohamed Kudus, Tim Steidten, and his agent, Jen Middleswitch or whatever her name is. So he thought, I'm going to cover all the bases here.
10 factor. Dean
Definitely.
says this is the sort of match a girl can show his worth in, and I hope he does. Chris says John McGinn. What is him? Thunder and Joy says some fans think Bowen is only there to score goals. He does a hell of a lot of our team. Ask
Antonio, not Bowen.
Antonio, that's it. Baza says Kudus has to start. Antonio is unreliable in front of goal. Jack Mate says Kudus has been texting Moyes' daughter, doing a little bit of a
I'll tell you what, he's not changed, has he? He's not changed since he's he does some official work. He's staying true to himself, Jack. I like it.
Well, Bo's got a question.
Good.
I've just seen it now. Why is John McGinn so weird looking?
Is he? Is he weird looking?
Got a big bum.
Is he?
John McGinn's got a big arse, honestly. He's got a hazard arse.
Big arse, apparently. I don't know. I don't know.
It's like Wilfred Boney. Remember his arse? That was a big one. He had junk in his trunk.
I did see him. I remember the first time I saw him live. I think it was for Swansea, and I think he is still to this day the widest. I don't mean fat. He was all muscle. The widest player I've ever seen.
John McGinn's got a big bum. He scored. I can't remember who we.
With his bum.
I can't remember who we played. Scotland. I can't remember who we played. We played someone, and he sort of like used his arse to maneuver the defender out of the way. And after the game, the interviewer basically said like, kind of use your arse. You don't. Yeah, I've got a big arse. I've got to use them now.
Nice.
Yeah.
That freestyle stuff where he must be like a ledge. You can just trap the ball on the top of the bum. Nice.
You can't quite do that's not quite that big, but yeah, he's definitely used his arse to nudge someone out of the way anyway. So
Jovino's forehead. He had a big old forehead, didn't he? He did.
Who?
Jovino played for Arsenal, didn't he?
Yeah, he did.
Forehead bigger than mine, to be fair.
I think it's just because his hairline was really far back.
Well, same as myself.
Yeah,
we're good at editing, both of us.
Anyway, Jack's unsubscribed from your channel because of my combined 11.
That's why I put it on there.
Bronson says, I bet the Villa players are over the moon that Kudus is not playing. We need to be more adventurous. Ionic says, who are the three players most likely to get a red card today?
Alvarez. Who's foul marking?
Zaniolo, probably. Or McGinn, probably Zaniolo.
A little bit of skullduggery, a little bit of...
Yeah.
I
wonder what his bet is today. Do you reckon Paqueta and Zaniolo are going to stood there and be like betting allegations?
Do you reckon they might have a little exchange? Both of them get yellow cards really early.
I was about to say, well, we have a little £5 bet. Let's do it. Right, bonus bet on Hammer's chat. Bonus bet, right?
Oh, go on.
Paqueta and Zaniolo to be 8-1. I'm not even doing that. I was going to just do it and just to see if they both got booked. But the Zaniolo isn't really for bookings. It's for match fixing, which is worse, I think. But anyway, Dean said, Villa have been brilliant. What Emily's done has been tremendous. We've been excellent as well. And I can see goals, got 2 all written all over it. Jack says, WordPress free kick out of here for you. We haven't, mate. Someone's already said it. Late. That is the second time. It's not even the second. That's about the 5th person I've said it. Sorry.
You heard it here 5th.
Copy. Yeah, you heard it here 5th at best. Touch says, in terms of your poll, it's poor, not very happy. It's the same thing in mind. We prefer be better in between poor. Hey, listen, when Charlie rocks up, you can bring it up with him. Charlie is the man in charge of the polls, right?
Yeah.
You can bring up suggestions. Well, he gave us one. Could be better in between poor.
Well, I think we need to have the full selection.
You're only allowed. One thing I will say: you're only allowed 4 people. You're only allowed 4 options, so it's not like we can have another one. Chris, it is the usual suspects. Let me click on it for you now. The West Ham bench is now on your screen, Chris. I'm not going to read it all out, but the West Ham bench is now on the banner. Yes, that's it. Have a look there. Logan says, everyone's entitled to their opinion, but I've been pleased with how we've been playing. Kudus will get his time, but I think this team deserves to start and can beat Villa.
The voice of reason, Logan, there.
Right then, thank you very much to John Connolly, who says Hammers to win 3-1. That leads me on to the next question, which is, what's everyone's score prediction, please? But before you start firing it in, can you make it obvious as to who you think is going to win? If you put 2-1, I am going to assume you're going for Villa because they're the home side. So please make it obvious who you are thinking is going to win. So get your score predictions in while we read out Luke's comment from the Three Hammers brilliant YouTube channel. Luke says, how big would a win be today? I think we will be in an amazing position going forward for the rest of this season.
I agree.
Right then, let's have a little look. Where are we? Goals. Here we go. Gary's kicking us off with a 2-1 Villa. David says 1-0 West Ham. Daniel is 3-2 Villa, while Dave is 3-1 West Ham. Andy's going for a 2-all. And
Desmond 2-2.
Motters is going for a 3-1 Villa, while Bo is going 3-1 West Ham. Another Brighton job. Che also agrees with Bo, saying 3-1 West Ham. Dexter and William are both 2-1 West Ham, while Arthur is agreeing with myself, Gonzo, and Anton Ferdinand, by the way. When I did my Patreon podcast during the week, I said to Anton, hey, what are you thinking? He said 1-all. He didn't know. Me and Gonzo had done 1-all. So me, Gonzo, and Anton, the Hammers chat lot are all saying 1-1 for this game. Nick says 3-1 West Ham. Johnny says 3-2. Phil says 2-1 West Ham. Wes says 3-2. But we've got a couple of Desmonds coming up with Jamie and Vicky's dad, both going for 2. Also is Ironix. But Tom is 4-3 West Ham. Spooky is 2-1. Now, Spooky, that is his name all the time. But I'll tell you what, it's very topical this time of year. It's your time to shine, Spooky.
It really is, isn't it? It's like being called Santa for the whole of the year.
Yeah, it's waiting.
Come on. Now here we go.
You're rocking up like the Wolf of Wall Street. Here I am.
Absolutely.
Bill says 2-1 Villa.
What?
2-1 Villa, says Bill. Shush, not you, that person. Yeah. Shush says 2-1 West Ham. Stevie's going for Desmond, but Red and Jeff also said 2-1 West Ham. Jack says 3-1 Villa, while Hammer Boy says 3-1 West Ham. Stevens 1-1. AS is 3-0 West Ham. Dean is 3-1 West Ham. Max is 3-2 West Ham. Todd is 2-1 West Ham. Jamie's 3-1. 2-all, 3-1 West Ham. Right, there's loads of them. I can't go through them all, but it's quite evenly spread. I'll tell you what, I like this. Jonathan, Ronald, CY, Jamie, all 2-all. Bernard, 2-2. Bed is 2-all.
Bed sit radio.
Oh, there you go. I'm always cautious of reading these ones out because it might be a trick. I might say something rude by mistake. So I think 2-2 is possibly the most popular. A lot of 3-2s West Ham. Nathan's 3-2 West Ham. Sean's 3-2 West Ham. And Fred's 3-2 Villa. But a lot of goals. Everyone's expecting goals, I think. So
can I just say, because he does sometimes cause a bit of stuff, I don't actually mind Max doing his RIPs in there because he's caught me out a couple of times. What we actually should say, that is very what a player. Bob, that is a genuine RIP. What a player Bobby Charlton was, what a footballer. Amazing.
Right then, before myself and Gonzo disappear, a couple of questions for you. Please do subscribe if you have a chat. If you haven't already subscribed to the channel, do so. Drop a like to the video by clicking the thumbs up. It generally helps out the channel, but also it helps out this video you're currently watching. While you're doing that, it's time to introduce Bevo, Charlie.
Hello. You all right?
Well, you're not muted today, so this is progress. How is oneself?
Starting very aggressive, Geo. That's all I'll say. Starting very
excited. Do you know something? I think I'm getting a bit excited for the match, actually.
I'm equally excited. It's a fun match with two fun teams who are doing quite well. It's one of those ones where I don't quite know which way it's going to go.
Charlie, you should be a pundit on Match of the Day. It's a fun match with two teams doing equally.
He said two fun teams, not two teams, two fun teams.
That's it. Just fun.
I'm a wordsmith, Geo. Voice of a generation. The people they hear my words and they go, "He's nailed that," and that was one of them. So. Can't help that I'm a genius like that. But no, I'm looking forward to it. I like it when we face teams like this because it feels, I don't know. It just there's something about facing a team where you don't quite know where it's going to go that makes it significantly more exciting. Like, don't get me wrong, when you face a Luton, you're sitting there and you're expecting a win, but if it doesn't happen, then you feel upset. But I like when we don't quite know where it's going to go because something mad could happen. And the Premier League, to be fair, this season and recently has pulled up some pretty mad results when you've had some teams like this going against each other. You just get teams scoring 5 out of nowhere. Not that I think we're going to score 5. I don't know if you've got that in us, but
why not? Negative.
Why not? When was the last
Negative.
time we scored 5?
I don't know,
Norwich?
but it doesn't matter.
Is it Norwich?
Negative.
I'm negative then. I don't really care. But yeah, I don't think we've got it in us. But yeah, I don't know. I'm hyped. I'm looking forward to it.
What's your score prediction before I disappear? What's your
1-1.
We're all going 1-0.
I thought I'd try and deliver that as straight at least as possible. I heard what you were saying about 1-1. I don't know. I probably would have said 1-1 actually, to be fair, because I genuinely
who
don't
do you
know.
think will score in the game, Charlie?
But this is the thing. I think both teams will score, and I don't know which way it's going to go. So 1-1 or 2-2 are the two options, and 2-2 I don't know about, so I'd probably say 1-1.
Fair.
It's not a fun scoreline, is it? You've got two fun teams, as Charlie said. A fun fixture. It's a lot of fun. I don't know what a fun team is. Maybe do they run around in big, oversized, like clown boots and have a squirty flower on them or something? That was a squirty flower, that mine, by the way. That wasn't, the other one. Yeah, it's not a fun scoreline.
Breast milk. He's referring to breast milk for anyone not watching.
It's a flower, the flower that the clown has, and they go. The clown says, "Oh, smell that flower."
But you said the other one. So what were you referring to then?
What?
You said.
What was the other thing?
Yeah. It's breast milk. You bottled it.
Massage.
That's a milk. I wasn't thinking milk when I said the other one. It was
yes, because that famous massage technique.
There was no milk involved. There was no milk. I don't mean you got a milk. That's you. That's your dirty brain. I was thinking a standard.
I would argue you're dirtier by talking about, like Charlie said, massage.
I was talking about flour. You're the one that turned it.
Where have you been for a massage?
I went to Turkish baths with you that day. Well, we met Charlie. Have we not discussed this in our Hammers Chat got together?
Anyway,
that's common knowledge.
Anyway, I'm away to get ready for the game and do my own personal bet while Gonzo's away to play with his squirty flower, and Charlie can interact with the live chat and chit chat about the poll, Mr. Walsh. But Charlie, I'll be back at half time.
Cool. I'll see you then.
Gonzo, I shall see you at full time.
Thank you, Geo. Thank you, Gonzo. Thank you, everyone, for joining. How are we? Well, hope you're well. Hope you're good. Hope your massage techniques are slightly different than that, because that one, don't know about that one. It doesn't seem the most relaxing. Let's start as we always do by asking how confident you are on a scale of 1 to 10. 1 being the least confident possible, 10 being the most confident possible. How confident are you of a West Ham result today? While we do that, let's go through the poll, shall we? We have the teams running on the bottom screen, so let's go through the poll quickly. We asked how you felt about the starting 11. Actually, I should say just before I say that, Tom, thank you very much for the £3. Massively appreciated. Helps out the channel huge amounts. Cannot begin to describe how much it helps out the channel. So thank you very much. But let's go to the poll. We asked how you were feeling about the starting 11. There were 4 options, despite some protestations. You only get 4 anyway. But very unhappy. People said 4%. It's poor. People said 9%. So still relatively very happy, although that number is starting to grow a little bit. The dissatisfaction numbers starting to grow a little bit. Very happy was 16%, and it's fine was 70%, which I understand. I think probably if I was to make a guess, the it's fine contingent would be a Kudus thing. For me, I would be in the very happy category, but I understand that. Jesus Christ, that is a not monetizable channel on YouTube. I was not monetizable. That one you're gonna have to go full Patreon. You can't do anything else with that. Evening, good to see you, Nathan. How are you? Hope you're well. Who's it going? But listen, it's fine. Hope you're well, bro. Hope you're well. Right, let's see where these score predictions start, shall we? While we do that, teams are running along the bottom of the screen. Why is this chat jumping all over the shop? Teams are running all across the bottom of the screen. West Ham line up with Areola, Sufal, Zuma, Aged, Emerson, Alvarez, Suchek, Ward-Prowse, Paquetá, Bowen, and Antonio in a very expected formation, let's say. Aston Villa lining up with Martinez in goal, Cash, Concert, Pau Torres, and Digne at the back. Begin Kamara and Douglas Luiz in midfield, with Zaniolo on one side, Diaby on the other, and Ollie Watkins up front. Still feels weird seeing Zaniolo there. I can't lie. Dean is saying he's 7 out of 10. 4, 7, 7, 6, 11. Thank you, Robin. That's very kind of you to say. I appreciate that, bro. Appreciate that. 8, probably a 5, 4, 10, 3-0 Irons incoming. Big AS. We'll be getting onto that in a second. My G. My G. It's Louis. He's good. He's good. Listen, I'm not getting it. 7, 5, 6, 4. My milking technique specifically. I've got many techniques. Good to see you, Leon. Hope you're well, bro. Hope you're good. 7 out of 10. Sure, it'll be a draw. 6. 8 for the team, 4, 6 for a win, 9 for a draw. Because I think you can also say like a draw is a result, right? Away at Villa Park, good team. You know, you can say that's also counts as a result. That's why I word it like that, as opposed to saying just specifically a win. Do you know what I mean? I feel like there's a thing. I will do that in a minute, Dean. Thank you very much. I will keep my where's my phone gone? Misplaced my phone. That's why I say it like that, because I think you can sort of get in the weeds a little bit if you wish to. But relatively confident. There's not too many low confidence levels, not too many high confidence levels. Somewhere in the middle, but that makes sense. Constantly going to be on Antonio the whole match, but Antonio needs to go at Torres. Yeah, I'll be interested to see, because I do think with Antonio, the obvious answer, not obvious answer, but I need to message you about Spanish, by the way. So if I don't message you, feel free to message me. The obvious answer with Antonio is getting physical, right? And I feel like Concert can do that. I feel like Concert could conceivably do that. Just get in there and get real physical with Mikel Antonio, because that's usually the beneficial way to try and deal with him. That's usually the way that helps the best. Because it can be a tricky customer to deal with, as much as there are, you know, as much as it is what it is with Mikel Antonio. If you can get in there and get physical, that usually helps out quite a lot. Goes a long way to stopping him. That is the West Ham lineup. The bench, in case you're wondering, is Fabianski, Fornals, Kudus, Mavropanos, Ings, Ogbonna, Benrahma, Kera, and Mubama. Let's see Mubama getting on there. I would love to see the idea of him. I'd love to see him getting on. I don't think it's going to happen, if we're being frank. I think there's a 0% chance of him getting on, but I would love to see it if it happened. Villa, their bench: Olsen, Diego Carlos, Tielemans, Traore, Chambers, Longley, Bailey, Dendoncker, and Kellyman. It's just such a weird team, isn't it? like, not bad. That's not an insult to Villa. If there is a Villa fan in the chat, first of all, welcome. Second of all, subscribe. Third of all, like the video if you can. Fourth of all, not an insult. I don't mean it that way. But you just look at this team and it's just like, I don't understand how this has been put together. How does Villa have Martinez, Pau Torres, Digne, Zaniolo, Diaby, Diego Carlos, Tielemans, Longley, like Bailey to some extent? How do they all play alongside John McGinn? It's crazy. I like John McGinn a lot. I think John McGinn is in that conversation, don't get me wrong. But it's just such a weirdly constructed team. It just doesn't seem to add up. I'm here for it. It's just confusing. But it is a strong team. But I would argue our team is as strong as we could possibly go as well. I know, like, for example, you look at Thomas Souček being in there, maybe Kudus getting in there. For me personally, I think this is our strongest 11. I think the beauty of having Kudus is that we don't have to start him. I know he might want to start. I know that's the big conversation. But realistically, I don't think you have to start him. I think you can pick and choose when to play him. Sometimes I feel like we make that wrong decision. I think we could start him in other games and not start Souček in others, or move players around a little bit, maybe not starting Antonio, all this, that, and the other. But realistically, I think this is our strongest 11, in my opinion. And when you have Kudus to come off the bench, big, huge, would love it. Would absolutely love it. But I think going into this game, where I'm not sure which way it's going to go away, I don't blame him for going for this style as opposed to put Kudus in there somehow. I do suspect that we will see Kudus. I don't think we will see Mubama. I think I think what we would do probably is push Paquetá up front and bring Kudus on in one of the wide position roles, probably, or the 10 position actually, more likely, and maybe bring on Benrahma as well, something like that. Because I really like Kudus in that 10 position, and I feel like Paquetá up front is probably, if I'm being honest, our second best striking option outside of just putting Mubama up front. It's probably our second best striking option, if I'm being honest, which is a crazy thing to say. I appreciate, but that's where we're at. That's where we're at. Next up, let's talk about Sub Bingo. Sub Bingo is the game where we predict when David Moyes will make his first substitute. You don't have to put a player's name, although they are running across the bottom of your screen right now in positional order, rather than the jumbly order that the West Ham graphics team has. But yeah, have a gander, have a look, see how you feel. I'm going to go 69 as per usual. You know how that rolls. And I'm going to say Kara for Antonio. Because the thing is, I see Antonio coming off, and I see Kudus. Jesus Christ, big difference, big difference. I think Kudus for Antonio is the way I'm going to look at it. Oh, the new Villa badge, yes, it does look incredibly similar, doesn't it? It's up there. They're only using it. They only have it on shirts. I don't know. It's very confusing to me. All of their branding seems to keep the logo that we all know, but on shirts they specifically have the weird Chelsea-looking one. Like every badge now is a circle, and yeah, it's very odd. So I used it in all the graphics just for the vibes, but who knows? I think he can be a bench player, but it doesn't really matter. I feel like oh, by the way, if you're getting adverts, YouTube have started putting mid-rolls in and stuff. I don't really know how that's working. I know Geo works the back end stuff on that, so it's better to ask him how that stuff works. I don't know quite how it works, but I know YouTube have been putting in mid-rolls. It's all very confusing. I think he can be I think the beauty is that we don't have to start him. When you get a player coming from overseas and you see, Skamaka as an example, I probably would agree with this assessment, but I did hear people saying he needed to adjust. He didn't adjust well enough. And the second he goes back to Italy, starts scoring again, all this other sort of stuff. It's really nice to have a player of Kudus' quality and not have to start them. It's really nice to have because usually when you buy someone like that, when you're West Ham, shove him straight in. He has to go in. He has to start. It's actually really nice not to have to start that player. And realistically, he doesn't really have a starting position. Even when we weren't doing this exact sort of lineup, even when you were doing something a little bit different, he still didn't necessarily have a position. You'd have Paquetá maybe in the 10 role. You'd have Ben Rama on the left. It didn't really fit. It's nice to have a player that good and of that quality who doesn't need to start, who you can bring on, and you can pick and choose when they start, but when he's not starting, you can bring on and be super effective, because that's a big thing. Imagine your Villa, you've been run around for however long it is, and then all of a sudden, bang, here comes Kudus. It's a beautiful thing. It's a beautiful thing. A relatively scary thing if you're Villa as well, for being honest. Thank you much, mate. I did that years ago that was Premiere Pro, but I did it years ago. I should probably make a new one at some point, but we needed one. It took about 15 minutes or something, and then yeah. Should probably update it at some point. We'll see what happens. Let's look at some of these sub bingos. Warm up those score predictions, ladies and gentlemen, because we will be getting on to final score predictions in about 5 minutes time. So warm them up good. I can see Kudus wanting a move soon, too good to be a bench warmer. See, it's that sort of stuff I just disagree with. I see the point, though. I 100% see where people are coming from. If Moyes, see, all of this was said about Paquetá and last season, it just... He's still here. Obviously, Skamaka ended up leaving, and it seemed to be slightly different, but I just don't see it. I just don't see it personally. But we'll see. Because you don't join a club looking at the manager and going, well, I'll wait for him to be gone next season. I just can't. I don't know. 58 minutes, says Sean. 94 minutes, says Barack. 67, 72. 55, Kudus on please, Dave. I do think it'll probably be... I could see it being earlier rather than later. 56, 53, Kudus, 100th minute. 64, 70, 75. 2.5 times, so half-time subs. Stress, Daniel. Stress. Don't know if I'd agree with stress. Logan, 50th minute for Kudus. Logan, I saw someone say congrats. I didn't see what for, bro, but congrats. Hope you're well. Hope you're good. I don't know what people are congratulating you for, but congrats, bro. I just saw the words. It might not have even been for you, Logan. It might have been for a different Logan. Logan, whichever Logan, congratulations. No idea why, but congratulations. Kudus at 65. Villa fan here, loving the energy. It's going to be a very competitive match. That I think it will be too, Cece. I think it will be too. Good to see you. You're welcome to stick around if you wish, but good to see you. And I reckon it'll be competitive. I'm looking forward to it. Good to see you. Chuck, how are you, sir? Hope you're well. Hope you're good. Hope you're looking forward to the game. 5 minutes. 5 subs. 59. 89 minutes even. Sorry, Dexter, I butchered that one. 5 subs on the 89th minute. Dexter's going bike. Dexter's going big. I said bike. We move. 62 minutes, 70 minutes. Kudus for Antonio. That's the OG Villa back. Is it? I assumed it might have been like an old retro one, but I'll be honest with you, I didn't look into it. I probably should have. I didn't bother. I just sort of looked at it and went, yeah, that's the one. That's the one. Half time, Kudus for Antonio. Kudus won't get until the 69th minute. Won't get on until the 69th minute. Yeah, that's where I'm at, Stephen. That's where I'm at. 55 minutes. It's like someone put a Chelsea shirt in the wash. And the little brothers. Yeah. I don't like the Chelsea have the foil badge this season, which is very confusing to me. It's very confusing to me. Is that true? I have ad block, but I don't put it on YouTube. Slenders, good to see you, sir. Hope you're well. And so I don't use it on YouTube, but I haven't really noticed it. My brain's just been accepting as for what they are. Tim signed Kudus, so he won't go straight in. That only happens when Moyes approved players, doesn't it? I don't know, Richard. Probably makes sense. I don't know. Honestly, I've got no idea. Anyway, let's get on to score prediction, shall we? It's 8 minutes before kickoff. We've spoken about both teams. We've spoken about both teams. We've spoken about subs bench. We've spoken about the strength, the weirdness. We've spoken about badges. We've spoken about it all, ladies and gentlemen. But now's the time to finalise those score predictions. No more flipping, no more flopping, no more sitting on the fence. Whatever your score prediction is now is the one that's going to count. It's time, ladies and gentlemen, to lock them in. I still do that, and I'm still not entirely certain what I'm doing. But massive thank you to Tim. I'm a Spurs fan, but today I support Villa for my friend who's going through a tough time. 4-3 to Villa, Kudus to score a winner. 4-3 to the Villa, Kudus to score a winner off the bench. But Tim, thank you very much for the £5. Despite being a Spurs fan, you are more than welcome around here, sir. And I hope your friend who's going through a tough time comes through it well. I hope he comes through it well. But yeah. Oh, no way. Dude, congratulate. There we go. Now I know. Congratulations, bro. Massive congrats. Everyone, if you haven't already, please congratulate Logan. Congratulations. Okay, it was you. Good. I saw the words congratulations, Logan, and I had no idea what was going on. And when I was scrolling around, I didn't see anything. So congratulations, bro. Massive. Big. You love to see it. Yeah, I'm prepped. I'm ready. Let's go. Let's do it. I'm hyped. I'm trying to just scroll through to see if I can find where the score predictions start as well. I should also say the full-time fund donos, they will be going up here in a second. I should do that in a minute. Where we go? I can see numbers. You can have the starting 11. There you go. Where is it? There we go. There's both teams starting 11 rolling across the bottom of your screen. West Ham stand. If you are just joining, you hadn't seen it. Areola starts in goal for West Ham, with Sufal, Zuma again, and Emerson at the back. Alvarez, Souček, and Ward-Prowse are in midfield, with Paquetá, Bowen just behind Mikel Antonio in what is likely to be a 4-1-4-1, you know, the classic, with Villa playing Martinez, Cash, Concert, Pau Torres, and Digne at the back. Begin Kamara and Douglas Luiz in midfield, with Zaniolo, Diaby, and Watkins up front. Their bench: Olsen, Diego Carlos, Tielemans, Traore, Chambers, Longley, Bailey, then Donker and Kellyman are bench. Fabianski, Fornals, Kudus, Mavropanos, Ings, Okbona, Benrahma, Kera, and Mubama. There we go. Let's find the beginning. It was there. It was close. Where was it? I can't find it. I have not made it. I promise you, it will happen at some point. I just don't know when. I've got. Sorry if that crinkle's really good. I've got some fizzy fish jellies. Does that count? Probably not. 4-1 to the Hammer, says Chris. 1-1. A Desmond cheeky 2-2. 0-0 to 0. Just coming on for half an hour when tiredness is creeping in. Sounds like a great plan to me. That's kind of the vibe. 3-1, 1-1, 3-1. Kudus is a game changer. He'll get the chances. We'll end up seeing him When he gets the chance to win it up, seeing in the 70th minute, wishing you saw more. 32 is what I was about to say. 3-2 to Aston Villa, says Daniel. 1-0. Need a win to cheer me up after cricket and rugby defeats, says Peter. Well, hopefully we can provide that, sir. 1-1, 2-1, 1-1, 3-1, 2-3 to the mighty Irons. Yes. 2-2, 2-1. Bells are in the house, Jeff. Don't worry. I got a whole new net of them yesterday. So we are belled up and we are prepped for the game. No matter what happens, we are ready for any scenario. Bell-wise specifically. We are ready for any scenario. Just moving things around on my screen. There we go. It needs to be like that. 2-1, 3-1, 3-3 after going 3-1 down. That would be absolutely bananas. 2-2 if there are no red cards. I've deducted a goal from Villa for the controversial use of a Spurs. Fair. Always fair. 3-2 to the Hammers. Villa to win, but could have scored winner. Ooh. Listen. We just back the vibes. Don't question it. Just back the vibes. 2-1 to the Irons. Villa have 10 consecutive home victories. Did they? That's a great stat. Did not know that. Not scared. I mean, I've got it to the 1-1. So, 2-1 to West Ham. Bowen and Kudus with the winner. 3-1 to West Ham. 3-1 West Ham and Kudus to come on and score 2. The Ward-Prowse score from a free kick. I would love. That's one thing we have been missing. I do need a Ward-Prowse free kick. Do you know what I mean? When it happens, it's going to pop off. We've seen the beauty from corners. We've seen the beauty from lots of different vibes, different ways. But I'm here for a Ward-Prowse free kick. And when it happens, it's gonna be like, this is the vibe. Henry's already got the vibes. Let's bloody go. Yeah, I'm here for it. I am here for it. 7-1 Wild. They are unreal. I cannot lie to you. Big, just barnstormingly large. Okay, is that what you? I'm still checked my flipping messages. It'll be fine. Like I said, I look forward to this. Right, Angelica is in the building. You love to see it, ladies and gentlemen. You love to see it. What game is it on? It is on Sky Sports today, of course, in the United Kingdom. If you have Sky Sports, you can watch it there. Elsewhere in the world, don't know, it's probably in the usual places. But if you are looking for a way to watch the game, if you can't watch it on Sky Sports for whatever reason, there are definitely ways you can do it. If you scroll down into the link in the description below, there's a bit there called Join Our Discord. Click on that lovely Hammers Chat West Ham community. But more importantly, on the left-hand side, there's a bit there called Stream Links in which you'll find what you are looking for. We are just under 2 minutes away from kickoff in the Premier League for West Ham United and Aston Villa. This being the away team, so probably should have said it the other way around. Big game for the two teams who are pushing higher positions than one would expect. European contenders, them being sort of 2 years behind us in that sense of getting into those positions. And I feel like when we've seen teams like them and Brighton actually play in Europe, we've seen how it's not as easy as we perhaps make it look. But two teams that you would expect would be in and around those spots, would be fighting for those spots, are going to be going at it today. I will of course be slightly behind you due to like delays and all that stuff. You know how these things go. Of course in North Idaho today. It's just the way these things go, because it's on Sky. However, there is a timer in the top corner up there which says exactly how far behind you I am. It will say exactly where I am, so you know what's going to happen. Thank you. I'm not gonna lie, I do have the sniffles, but and I've also had about 3.5 to 4 hours sleep. However, I'll be honest with you, I'm vibing. So you know, we rock and re-roll, Sean. We rock and re-roll. So we are wearing the away kit. We are wearing the white with blue shorts. I just saw someone mentioning what we were wearing there. We are doing that. There will, of course, be a minute's silence for Bobby Charlton. And you also have, of course, Israel-Palestine stuff. So there's a lot to be there. But we'll talk through it, obviously. But full thoughts go out to everyone. Bobby Charlton, Charlton's family, everyone affected by Israel and Palestine and all of that stuff. But yeah, we'll be talking through that for obvious reasons. It's a show. We can't just cut to crowds clapping, unfortunately, which would be good. Lawrence, good to see you, sir, from Lexington, Kentucky. How are you, bro? I hope you're doing well. Don't stress me out like this, Fluffy. Don't stress me out like this. It's a legend of the game. The Mambo number 5 cover. Let's go. You know. There's a house with a roof that leaks. It's a knock-up job, and it could take us weeks. There's Lofty, mix something, and Rolly too. When he just knows what to do. That's that. I can't remember all the lyrics. And some of those were definitely wrong. But a huge song. A huge song. Oh, that's what I should do. Right, so we click here. We will be live in just a second. It's always all vibes. It's always all vibes, to be fair with me. When is it never all vibes? We will be kicking off. The away side will be kicking off. Lucas Paquetá standing over the ball. It is West Ham United versus Aston Villa in the Premier League, Villa Park. Big opportunity, big moments. First whistle goes. And we're underway. Come on, you irons. Deploy the boys. It's time to run. 2 things indeed. West Ham versus Villa. Let's go. Let's go. The team that half of my year group in year 7 was convinced I supported Aston Villa because I wore a West Ham shirt to played in, headed away from again, or West Ham shirt to the open day. Like the first day that you go in where you don't have to do much. Well, that's how it worked in my secondary school anyway. And none of them really picked up who it was. Oh, that's a beautiful ball from Paquetá early on over the top to Antonio. It was a bit wide out, but the curvature of it was lovely. Oh, nicely done by Mikhail. Flicks it in towards Paquetá. He felt in an offside position, pulled back. Oh my God, Bowen hits it. Save from Martinez was immense. And I think the flag's gone up incredibly late there. Incredibly late. The ball from Paquetá initially was beautiful, and then Mikhail Antonio does really well. Yeah, Paquetá is offside. The flag goes up incredibly late. And it's pulled back for Bowen, who hits it. And I tell you what, it's a great save from Martinez. So it wouldn't have been a goal regardless. But my lord, that flag went up incredibly late. Incredibly late. I wore a West Ham shirt to the open day, and then no one knew who it was. No one really mentioned it. And then, you know, several months later, someone goes, "You're a Villa fan, right?" And I'm like, "No." And then everyone just assumed I supported Villa for some reason. You know, what can you do? What can you do? What can you do? Matt, good to see you, sir. Hope you're doing well. Of course, if you haven't checked out Risky in the Ridicule, what are you doing? What are you doing? Big vibes, big tunes, and I would highly recommend it. How are you, Matt? Hope you're well, bro. The North Idaho TV network is going well. By going well, I mean has stopped. So that's a thing we're dealing with right now. So, you know, we'll just have to put up with that as we go. Okay, fair enough. I feel like it should go up before then, but fair enough. If them's are the rules, then okay, fair enough. But I feel like it's like something that should happen before then, if we're being honest about it. But fair enough. Here we go. We're back with thank yous to Dean. With thank yous to Dean is what I'll say. He came around my house in North Idaho and fixed the aerial. Here we go. There we go. Yeah, I know, it's annoying. This is one of the things I will say, as much as I've said, listen, Bob the Builder got flows like my man. Do you know what I mean? This is one of the things I do like about Kudus, is he picks up the ball in quite central areas and drives through those central areas, which is something else we don't really have in those positions, from like the 10 or from the right wing. He plays differently to any of the other options we have in those two roles. And him getting into those positions means we're more likely to win free kicks in those positions. And that's something I really did like. Villa are passing around on halfway line right now, but that's something I really did like when we saw him play, was him just getting into those positions. He won a couple of free kicks in those areas, and I think you just keep doing that with James Ward-Prowse. Eventually, he's going to get more, but it's annoying. We bought him. We have like this insane free kick taker, and we just never get him in good positions. Tell you what, McGinn does really well there, but it's taken out solidly by Ward-Prowse. No foul, says the referee. Played first time forward to Mikel Antonio from Jarrod Bowen. Down the right-hand side, he was going up Pau Torres. Interestingly, peeling off on that right-hand side. Couple times I've seen him now. Both times he's got forward, Mikel. He's drifted over to that right-hand side as opposed to, you know, all last season we'd see him favouring the left. We have a video coming out soon when I finish editing it. Knowledge from Jack Elderton, of course, of analyticsunited.co.uk, the West Ham Breakdown podcast, something I would highly recommend. Me picking his brains about sort of the sides we attack on and stuff like that. That'll be coming out at some point when I've finished editing it. It'll be this week at some point. But yeah, be interested to see Mikel Antonio pulling out on that side. Ball forward, Zuma does well there. Bullies Ollie Watkins, but I tell you what, he gets his foot in, his high foot against Soufal. But I tell you what, bravery from Ollie Watkins, just throwing his head in front of that one. No way you win at Villa Park. Draw or 1 goal in it will be a right battle. I suspect so. Crisco. We'll see how it goes. But again, I said 1-1. That was the vibe. Everyone said 1-1 to be fair. So. Let's get those other full-time funds in the top bar. I apologise for doing it so late. Villa on the ball. Kamara looking to try it, playing Watkins, finds Diaby just about. It was a little bit awkward, but he gets there. Paquetá somehow a foul. Not sure how. Not sure how there, but apparently it was a foul. Yeah, it probably was a foul actually. So on second viewing, to be fair, was probably a foul. Oh, didn't mean to move that. There we go. Thank you very much to, well, just one more time, to James, who I wasn't here when he happened, but James, good to see you. You're not here, but E20's own TV. To Tom and to Tim, massive appreciations to you all. Whipped in from the touchline from Villa from that free kick, headed away at first, port of call from James Ward-Prowse, and then Porky's control. I don't know whether or not he touched that, but Villa get a throw in regardless. Douglas Luiz wide on this right-hand side. McGinn trying to find Matty Cash does. Passing around a little triangle. They've got 3 West Ham players on them defending. It's not bad ball in from Douglas Luiz. It's a bit close to Areola, but it wasn't bad. And Areola easily comes and collects it. Oh, love that throw to Emerson. Paquetá, nice little inside flick into the path of Emerson. Souček, who was offside just beyond the halfway line. Thomas Souček offside in one of the weirder ones I've ever seen in my life. Trying to play it through. Souček gets control, which I didn't think there was going to be a player there. And somehow it was Thomas Souček controls it and it just played a huge crossfield diag. It was a bit wild, but still. Is that true? Is that true? Oh, I'm looking at the one on Sky Sports, and I'm looking at the one, sorry, North Idaho TV Network, and I'm looking at one on my stream now. It's the wrong way around. It's the wrong way around. There you go. There you go. See that? Just knowledge. West Ham trying to find their way in, doesn't quite happen. McGinn can come away with the ball just over the halfway line. He's got options, but there are so many of us back, and Soufal easily cuts that one out. They were charging forward on the counter there. McGinn going. Had Zaniolo just to the left of him, just kept going, but with so many people back, there was no chance of him really finding a space unless it was an impeccable ball. Played inwards, McGinn tries to loft it in towards the back post, towards Matty Cash. Headed away from Emerson, and now West Ham can come away with the ball with Lucas Paquetá. Oh yeah, you're right. Sorry, Dean has sent me the angle. Yeah, because the first one is facing one way. then all the others are facing the other way, and then this one's back to the first one again. There you go. Oh, their 1980 badge. What a vibe that is. What a vibe that 1980 badge is, by the way. Bring that one back. It's well done by DRB. Takes it around Alvarez, who's charging back. DRB, it's a nice idea to try and find cash. I tell you what, Emerson does really well, and Alvarez comes away with it, lays it into the path of Paquetá, which is so good down this left-hand side, man. I love it. I love us on the ball down this left-hand side. Paquetá is brilliant, isn't he? Free kicks to West Ham, beautiful. Paquetá is so good. Do you know what's good about him? Is it's not just necessarily that he has the ability on the ball and the passing and all that stuff. It's the upper body strength. He's willing to get involved. So he collects the ball, and people just come onto him. He's just like, no, I got this. And he just holds them off. I love that side to him. I love that side to him. Ishmael, good to see you, sir. Hope you're doing well. Big ball over the top, looking for Antonio quickly. He somehow manages to get the control down. Jared Bowen's begging for it. The ball across, looking for Souček. Maybe could have got there earlier. I think it's going to be a goal kick as well. We played it quickly. It was a free kick, just pile drived over the top to Antonio. It was a beautiful ball. His first touch is a bit scary, but he manages to fight his way onto it. And Jared Bowen was begging for it. Matty Cash was covering, so maybe it would have been difficult to find Jared Bowen, or it felt like the right option. He tries to play it to Thomas Souček at the far post. Can't quite make it work. Sky Sports just showed one of the most confusing graphics that made no sense to me I've ever seen. I mean, the North Idaho TV network, it just made no sense. Oh, Jared Bowen battling his way through, almost flipping exactly corner, surely. Jared Bowen almost managed to battle his way all the way through there. Great cut out, and it just lands at the feet of him from the ball going forward, and he battles, pushes one away, manages to somehow skip through two, then almost manages to spin. I don't know, it should be a goal kick, to be fair. Yeah, it was, but flipping heck. Diaby back. Luis! Oh my god, what a save. Holy hell. Diaby plays it into Douglas Luiz, who was on the edge of the area. I'll be honest with you, doesn't really have much right to be shooting from that sort of range. 25 yards away, maybe. Bends it in. I'll tell you what, it's a great shot. It was destined for that top corner. And Areola with a beautiful save. I tell you what, get your massages out, ladies and gentlemen, because that was a wonder from Areola. That was beautiful. Jesus. What a save. What a save. Corner to Aston Villa in the result. From the left-hand side, John McGinn's going to be the one to take it. Whipped in. Shot from the back pass, from back post from Conser. Wasn't anything to write home about, easily into the hands of Areola. Did they make it look to me like Villa? I don't know. I couldn't. Maybe I read it wrong, but it looked completely and utterly baffling to me. Or did they not? So is this badge the one that the fans picked, or the ones that the owner picked? Do you remember when we did a poll? That was fun, wasn't it? For our badge. And they were like, here are the ones, and they were all sort of just a bit crap. It was a beautiful time, really. It really was. Most tackles and through balls for West Ham in the Premier League this season. Lucas Paquetá. You love to see it. Well, good. First of all, good to see you, R. McDuff. I hope you're well. This one, we've all predicted a draw. The chat is a little bit different, but myself and everyone else on the channel, we've all predicted draws. I think there's a fair chance we could win, but I think it could genuinely go either way. Big ball from Aged, looking for Bowen. Can't quite get there, but it is going to be a West Ham throw. Digne just heading it out. Throw quickly to Jared Bowen, who hits it first time. Martinez. Into the hands of Martinez. Sort of comes onto him and he hits it first time from the throw. I like the idea. Would have been difficult, but I like the idea. Again, just nicely cut out there. We're doing well with the interceptions today, although that is an equally good one from Aston Villa. But we're doing well with the interceptions today. We've regained possession of the ball. Villa's struggling a little bit to get it forward. I wouldn't necessarily say we're all over Villa. We're certainly putting him in tough positions, though. Certainly putting him in tough positions. Alvarez and Soufal linking up, finds Bowen out wide. Play over on his right-hand side right now. A little bit panicky there. James Ward-Prowse plays it back to Kurt Zouma. But across to again, and then we get it on the left-hand side, the fun side. We lose it out instantly, but it is the fun side. Oh, is that what it was saying? I thought I saw a Villa back. I honestly could not tell what the hell was going on with that graphic. That's wild. That's wild. That's mad. He has been that good, though. Kind of, yeah. I mean, we like have it's Souček and him, right? Are the two that we get forward, which makes sense. I think Bowen's probably further forward today than I've seen him recently. I think it's fair to say, but kind of. You push Bowen, you push Souček up, especially really create some space. Oh, that's a great ball around the back for Aston Villa. Pulled across from Digne, and thankfully James Ward-Prowse is there to cut it out. Just Zaniolo just cuts, just a little bit deep, just finds the pass for Digne, and Soufal maybe making it look a bit more difficult than it need be. Thankfully, it goes out for a throw-in. They're trying to work their way forward. Diaby's on the ball looking for Ollie Watkins. That's a great opportunity, and he has missed a glorious one. He has missed an absolutely glorious one. Ollie Watkins in the area. I mean, the fact they managed to get into that sort of position is insane. Ollie Watkins shaking his head. He knows he should have scored. How they've managed to find that position, I'll never know. It's played into the path of Diaby, who looks up. I tell you what, that ball, he just fires the ball into him. He fizzes it in fast enough to where it's difficult to deal with. And the fact that Ollie Watkins managed to get it under control, he has to hit it first time quickly because he's not going to have much time otherwise, but he just drags it wide. He shakes his head because he knows that was a glorious opportunity. But how the hell he got into that, I'll never know. Oh, yeah, I haven't even checked. Oh my God, we're at 3:19. Thank you very much, everyone. We've nailed our goal already. What a time to be alive. I didn't even look at that. Didn't even think about it. Pinged forward, looking for Ollie Watkins. Easily headed down there by Emerson. Doing well today, Emerson. Throw out to Paquetá, who lays it forward. We're very direct today. We're very, very direct. Paquetá looking for... I tell you what. Gonzo was just being hounded by Antonio. I'm not sure where the foul was, but the referee calls one and they can play on. But we do seem to be incredibly direct. We are just picking up the ball and just going straight forward. There is no if, ands, or buts. There's no messing about. We're just gunning for it today. We're just gunning for it today. Gary, good to see you, sir. Hope you're well, bro. Hope you're good. I don't know how I feel about it. I mean, ultimately, probably right. I mean, an Emery side, they can be really, really strong defensively and well sorted out if they need to be. And so it's probably better to just, like, McGinn, I'll tell you what, does really well to just put Alvarez on his backside there, through to Diaby. Zouma covers well. Tell you what, McGinn did really well to put Alvarez on his bum there. Really, really strongly. But yeah, I feel like it's probably right that we're probably trying to just go at them as quickly as humanly possible, but does feel a little, it's forced, and it's given us options and it's giving us chances, but it does feel quite forced. Thank you, Andy. Hope you're well, bro. Hope you're good. Just give it a quick one on them. Hit the bell notification as well while you're there. Do you know what I mean? Vibes. Corner short to Diaby, who's loading one up. I'll tell you what, that's a heck of a block there from, I think it was Bowen. who looks like he's been caught worse for wear. Let's say. Yeah, he's not comfortable. He's not comfortable after that block. Well, I usually have him in. Stay still. I usually have him in a lovely West Ham shirt, but I don't know where I've put it. Put it somewhere, and I honestly don't know where it is. I've not looked that hard since the last stream. I can't lie, but I don't know where it is. But usually he's there in his lovely West Ham regalia, ready for the boys. But you know, today he's just on Overwatch, keeping an eye. There you go. That's the Alvarez we know and love. Great tackle. Played in again a second time. Again, headed that one away. That's the Alvarez we know there. Getting into a decent position and slide tackling it away with those big, long legs. When Alvarez scores one day, it's going to be a belting time, isn't it? Think over the top well. Cut out from... Again, Villa are starting to get into their bag a little bit here. Villa are really starting to get into their bag a little bit. Getting into decent positions and just putting it on us. Finding interesting flicks and passes. I know why we bring Antonio back from corners. I know why we do it. It's just always a bit annoying. I know the numerical advantage is a big deal. I get it. I understand. But I'm like, I want someone to be able to break. Played in from Villa's corner. Goes over the top of everyone. And then the shot from Concert Far somehow doesn't even go out for a goal kick. I don't know how. Diaby loads it up again. Looking for that cross into the back post. Looking for Concert again to header it. Sufal keeps it from going out. Although, maybe no, he doesn't. Is that offside or a corner? It's a corner. Corner. Yeah, they're starting to really put it on us now here, Villa. They're in advanced positions in and around the area, and they're finding nice passes as well. That Watkins one was the obvious one. But there's been a couple of times where there's been just a little smart flick, dink over the top, slight through ball and stuff that's just causing us a bit of problem. We're defending it relatively well. The Watkins chance aside, we're defending it relatively well, but they are doing quite well here, Villa. Corner to them on the left-hand side. Whipped in. Thankfully, it was poor. Header back from James Ward-Prowse was maybe poorer. And Antonio's was even worse. And then Alvarez, look at that. It's beautiful, man. And Paquetá, which is, yes. And then Alvarez starts steaming forward. Go on. Go on. Vamos. Big boot from far. No. Okay, fine. He passed it. That's fine. It was the smart and right decision. But, you know, I was just getting a bit excited. The ball gets played out to Antonio on the left-hand side, whose cross was god-awful. It's fine. We get the ball back. We go again, ladies and gentlemen. We go again. Oh, nice 1-2 flick over the top from Paquetá to Emerson. Pulled across, goal. Bowen was there, attacking it. Couldn't quite make it work. Now Villa on the counter-attack. Ball is with, I think it's Douglas Luiz. He's got Zaniolo alongside him. He finds John McGinn on the inside instead. Emerson quite slow to get back there. He does eventually get there, but he does. Just what was he? I just like what? You know what I mean? Like what? It just flipping hell. Cross comes in from Luca Digne. Luca Digne on the far left-hand side just picks up. I tell you what, it's a good cross into a dangerous area. The corridor of uncertainty. Maybe a little bit too close. Sufal in good position to sort of force him into that sort of area of crossing, and Ariella can collect it. But there goes Alvarez and just steams forward. He's looking for, I think, a pass back to Paquetá. He finds it, takes it. Oh, I love that. Takes it round his man and flicks it on. He's just too good, man. Finds Emerson, plays it into the path of Thomas Souček. Flick on. Doesn't quite work out. It's going to be a free kick to Villa. I don't know. It's just, man, Paquetá, it's just something else. He's just so good. Do you know what I mean? He just has the ball and they come to tackle him. He goes, how about no? How about no? I love it. I love him. Villa now trying to work their way forward once more. It's an interesting battle, this game. It's an interesting battle. McGinn does well to find Zaniolo. Gets into those half spaces. Digne pulls wide. Playing it around at the moment. It is a very interesting battle. You get Zaniolo and Diaby who sort of come into those half spaces. You get 5 in their attacking formation, Villa, where you have Matty Cash and Digne as far forward as humanly possible, providing that width. You have Diaby and Zaniolo just one step inside of them in those sort of half spaces, and you have Watkins in the middle. And it's doing well for them. They're finding a lot of space and joy. Of course, you've got like Douglas Luiz, and you've got McGinn just behind him pulling strings as well. Cash there out wide, trying to find the cross. Finds it back to Kamara, Boubacar. But it's doing well for them. It's doing well for them. They're finding nice spaces for them. Not something you love to see. Ball over the top. That one's easily going to be Emerson's. He's under a bit of pressure here, though. But he wins the throw beautifully. Well done. Good play, Emerson. Good play, Emerson. Good play, Emerson. Young lad, runs Bromley South. Listen, you know, he's a baller. He's a baller. He's a baller. I've heard words of a young Marsh pulling strings in the midfield. You know, I've heard word. Heard rumours on the wind. You know, spoken about generation to generation, passed down. People just know. It's a different vibe, right? It's a different vibe. I don't necessarily. I like Souček. I love Souček. I can't even act like I don't. And I feel like he's doing okay here. But it is a different vibe. It's difficult. I don't know where. I don't quite know what we need at this point. I don't quite know what we need. Because I'm yet to be convinced that Kudus up front is a good idea. I've yet to be convinced that Kudus up front is a good idea. I think that this is the obvious one, right? Artel says it. Mubama does the same thing as Antonio, but 100% more energy. The thing is, I'm big for Mubama. I'm big for Mubama. This is hilarious, by the way. The whole game has just paused. Nothing's happened, by the way. It's in play. We've just all decided to stand still. I think Mubama is the obvious one, but ignoring the fact that Moyes just will not play him, which I think that is the most obvious one possible. You just Mubama should be getting game time, in my opinion, right? Played into the RB. That's not a bad opportunity. He goes for a young shot, drags it very wide. We're forcing them into long shots a lot of the time, which is nice, but they are getting into decent positions a bit too frequently. But we are forcing them into long shots with just being tight and compact to the back. Mubama is the obvious option because, like you say, I think he is the most Antonio-like option we have, and he brings a lot of energy. I love him. It's difficult. I don't think Antonio's. To be clear, I don't think Antonio's playing. I don't think Antonio's playing too bad today. I don't think he's playing unreal, but I don't think he's playing too badly. Guys, can we cut to a wide? The director there just fell asleep on a shot of Diaby, and we're hearing lots of and just nothing happened. I don't think Antonio's playing super well, but I don't think he's playing that badly either. Zaniolo did do really well there. You see it on the replay; he does do really well. But yeah, I just don't know. Without bringing on Mubama, which is the obvious and correct answer, which Moyes just doesn't do, it becomes a really difficult question to answer. Zaniolo going for a long shot, maybe one of the worst I've ever seen. Because Ings is there and Ings doesn't work. We know that. We don't need to bother talking about that. Bowen up front, I don't like. I've never really felt like that works properly. I've never really felt like Bowen up front is a good option, personally. Doesn't really tickle my fancy, as it were. And so then you're left with like lots of like half good options. I've never been convinced that Kudus up front is a good idea for us yet. We'll see whether or not it comes to be an option. But he just doesn't have the physicality of Mikel Antonio for me. He has a lot of these. He has the speed and dribbling to get in behind, but when it comes to those 1v1 battles, he just doesn't have what Mikel Antonio has, which is annoying. So it becomes a difficult solution. That's why I think Paquetá is the best option, but I'm not starting Paquetá up front. You know, Villa are in a good position here. I'm not starting Paquetá up front because I think that's crazy talk. Zaniolo wide on the left hand side, cuts it back for Watkins in a great position, pulls it, hit. Oh, Ariola even got a touch on it, but it's 1-0. It's Douglas Luiz with a long shot. It wasn't even that good of a shot. Ariola gets a hand to it, but it's just pushed into the net. It's not even that good of a shot. It's a well-worked chance by Villa. And you've seen we've had a couple of moments where Douglas Luiz has got into those positions and hit him already. Warning signs again. Those front fives just pushing it forward, and you have Luiz and you have McGinn pushing into those advanced positions, getting into those areas where they could potentially pull off shots like that. It was well worked by Villa. It wasn't. It was poorly defended as well. I mean, Zaniolo does well. There's enough people there, but he's pulled into the path of Ollie Watkins, and it's just no one covering him at all. But the shot from Douglas Luiz is nothing to write home about, if we're being honest about it. Looking at a replay from behind the goal, get a slightly better angle. Zaniolo does well to create a bit of space, finds Watkins, who's pulled back, and then Luiz. It's just a bit crap, isn't it? It's just a little bit crap. Douglas Luiz hits it, and I don't know whether Ariola's like sees it late. His momentum shifting one way. Maybe perhaps sees it a little bit late, but he ends. I mean, the good thing about Douglas Luiz's shot is it's hit hard and it's hit low, relatively near to Ariola, so it's difficult to get down to those positions and stop it. But he gets a hand on it and just pushes it into the net. It's well worked, even if the shot wasn't great. But it is 1-0 at the end of the day, so it makes really no difference. We've got a good position here. Good ball. Mikel Antonio, bad cross. Bad cross. Nods it down to Alvarez well, though, to maintain possession of the ball. And that's poor from Aged. Antonio does well to get in there and wins a throw, and we take that. Okay, right. We need to move forward. Positivity and vibes. Thank you, bro. I'm all right. I'm good. I hope you're well. If you haven't already subscribed to the Disabled team, what the heck are you doing? I would highly recommend it. Hope you're well, Stu, bro. Bloody hell, Watkins almost scored again there while I was changing the... Diaby and Watkins linking up, and Watkins' shot is just wide. Don't really know how to stop this either. That's the more annoying thing about it. Douglas Luiz's cross from the corner doesn't really go very well. That's offside, surely. Why? I don't understand this, like, putting the flag up at the end of the passage of play. Like, everyone and their nan knew that John McGinn was offside there. And yet we had to wait for him to pointlessly take a long shot that was never going in order for it to loop and then go over the bar. And then we go, oh yeah, he was offside. Like, it seems like such a... I don't know. I guess in that sense you're more likely to get it right. You're reducing the likelihood of an error on the match official's part. I assume, but I don't know. Yeah, what's annoying about this is I don't really know how to fix it. We have the lineup on the pitch that in theory should be able to deal with what they're doing a little bit better. Paquetá trying to find his way forward, can't quite make it work. Oh, Paquetá, stop it. Just nips it away from him. 'Em. You'd love to see it. It's an Alvarez looking for that big crossfield diag. I tell you what, Digne takes an iffy touch corner. I don't think it is going to be. I think it'll be a goal kick. That's a goal kick. Yeah, I don't really know how to solve this. I mean, defensively, I know where a lot of us are talking about. I just don't get it. He's so offside. What's the point? Like, I know there's a lot of chat in the chat right now to talk about Mikel Antonio right now, but that's not going to solve our defensive issues right now. Like, Villa are getting in very, very easily, and changing Mikel Antonio for, say, Mohamed Kudus is just not going to solve that issue. So I don't know how to solve it. Zaniolo foul from James Ward-Prowse. It's going to be a free kick in a fairly decent position for Aston Villa. Not super close, but not so far away that you couldn't have a shot either. Very, very wet. Very wet this week. Very wet this week, I will say that. I don't know. I just don't know. Three at the back, maybe. I don't know. I'm not sure. Villa are doing really well here, and I'm not really sure how to stop them. That's the worst part about it. I don't mind being beaten I don't mind being beaten too much, especially when I think, okay, this is what we should do to change it up. But this, I just don't know. So free kick from Villa, about 30 yards out. You've got Luca Digne standing over it. The other person, I think, is Diaby. They could probably go for a slap shot from this far away. Probably. It'd have to take something super special from this sort of range to score, though. Digne runs over it. Douglas Luiz. I'll be honest with you. Right. Love a good choreographed free kick. That one, beautiful. But my lord, was that a waste of a shot. Played back beautifully to John McGinn, who just pile drives it significantly wide from range. It reminds me of, do you remember the old Noble Nolan free kick combo? The one where he went and just sort of lofted it sort of over the wall and up over the wall, and Nolan runs onto it, or whoever would run onto it, and just sort of tried to smack it in. And it just never worked. Felt a little bit like that. Love the fact Sky have decided to zoom in on Villa's set piece go and go, it's that guy. I really liked that free kick. Don't get me wrong, but my God, please, you've got to at least get it on target from that sort of to vibe that strongly. Ball over the top. Pau Torres looks to try and collect it. Villa do poorly, and we get a throw in a decent position. The atmosphere sort of died down here. That's awful from Alvarez. Atmosphere's died down. Maybe it's the time to capitalise. I don't know. Is it bell time yet? Well, listen. Maybe. Who knows? If the people call for it, then the people call for it. Mubama for Antonio, Kudus for Souček. Well, this is the thing. The Mubama thing. This is the thing. Mubama is an obvious sub that we would all like to see happen at some point, right? Obviously. Completely and obviously. It's just not going to happen. like, it's just not. There is just no situation in which it's going to happen. Unfortunately, he's just there for numbers' sake. He'll never ever come up. Max, I would answer that question, but I'll be honest with you. I genuinely don't know enough. I genuinely don't know 3. Crazy talk from me, but genuinely, I have no clue. Nicely cut out there. Paquetá on the left-hand side. We've won the ball back in a good position. We were doing this earlier in the game. Souček, deflected shot, I think. Corner. We did that earlier in the game. Earlier in the game, we were doing really well at winning the ball back in those sort of more advanced positions, and we won it there nicely. And we just tried to. We just couldn't quite find our way into the beauty shot scenario, but we'll take the corner. James Ward-Prowse, corner. All the big boys forward. We saw your set piece. Now watch this. Bosh! Headed away at the front post. Alvarez. Oh, handball. We take it. We take it. Ladies and gentlemen, it's a James Ward-Prowse free kick on the edge of the area. Not in a great position. Bit too close. Bit too across to the right-hand side. But it is a James Ward-Prowse free kick in a big position. It came out to Edson Alvarez, who just smacked it from range. And personally, I would say it's probably a bit harsh to be a yellow card, for being honest. It's flipping close to the line as well. I personally wouldn't have said it was a... I personally think those sort of free kicks are a little bit harsh, but it is a free kick. It does hit the hand, and we do have a James Ward-Prowse chance. It's in territory. We are getting a VR check just to check whether or not it should be a penalty instead. I think it is just outside the box. That camera angle is pretty awful, but I do think it is just outside the box. Yeah, that's outside the area. That's outside the area. We're calm. We're calm. We're calm. It's a free kick. It's a free kick unbelievably close. It's probably too close. It would have to take James Ward-Prowse at his best to hit this one in. To somehow convert this one, it would have to be an absolute James Ward-Prowse special. The draft excluder is down. John McGinn and his big bum. Paquetá complaining about the wall. Of course, if he scores this one, he'll be joint highest free kicks in the Premier League ever with David Beckham. Standing over it now. Lucas Paquetá is also there with him. The ball hasn't quite gone down yet. This free kick is taking forever. I'll be honest, the free kick should be significant. The free kick should be significantly closer to the box than it is, but James Ward-Prowse and Paquetá both standing over it. Very close, probably too close and probably slightly too far to the right. Yeah, he hits it straight into the wall. Yeah, it was way too close. Getting it up and over from that sort of distance is such a nightmare, and it should have been even closer than that, to be honest. But we win a throw. God, I hate... Whenever I played football, I hated being in walls. You're just there to take the ball, and I don't like it. Big, long throw. Headed away. Oh, beautiful! Oh my God, Paquetá with almost an absolutely sensational. Oh my God. The ball comes in, long throw in, headed away relatively easily from Villa. Diaby comes flying forward for Villa on the offside. We'll go back to that in a second. Diaby on the right on the right. Tries to play it into Watkins, who sort of just manages to stab it back to McGinn. But Thomas Souček gets back and stops that one well enough. And we managed to clock it out. Oh, nicely done there. Jared Bowen spins into the space. James Ward-Prowse flying forward. Antonio wide on the right-hand side. Sorry, on the left-hand side. Will he complete across today? It hasn't felt like he will all day. And it won't start today. He takes it onto his weak foot and then hits a pile driver into the side of the net. Smooth. That was beautiful, though. The Paquetá chance almost was incredible. Like, don't get me wrong. Like, it was never happening, but big, long throw in. Headed away relatively easy from Villa. And then James Ward-Prowse just dinks it back in towards the goal without any sort of stress whatsoever. And Lucas Paquetá going backwards goes for the overhead. He mishits it, bless, but almost a thing of beauty. Almost a thing of beauty. I remember back when Mikel Antonio first joined, right? And I almost had a catchphrase on this channel. Can't shoot, can't pass, can't cross. Today, he's really proving a couple of those correct. Like, his crossing today has been atrocious. And that one, he probably did the right thing by looking like he was going to take it on the inside and taking it on the out. But then, I don't get what he was trying to do. Like, weak foot, just pull it back. Even if let's say that didn't hit the side netting, let's say that cross went into the center of the park. What are you expecting here? You know what I mean? I don't get it. Who's going to get his head onto that? It was a bullet. They wouldn't have a head left. Sorry about the results so far. Have a beer on me at halftime, Charlie. Eat a fizzy fish. Thank you, Dexter. Thank you for the £5. Very, very appreciated, sir. Oh, that's beautiful from Soufal. Crossing was way too close, but yeah, the build up into it was really nice there. Ball gets played. It's a beautiful crossfield pass from Aged all the way across to Soufal, high and wide on the right hand side. Takes it past his man incredibly easily, Zaniolo. Then the crossing just isn't the one. Just isn't the one. Why we're not just hit those pullbacks? We've been doing it recently. Like we've been doing it recently. It's so good. Dexter, your name is in the top now. Thank you very much, sir. Massively appreciate it. Massively appreciate it. Play across the top doesn't quite work out. Played out wide. Soufal. Lofted in. James Ward-Prowse. Oh, the idea was nice, but didn't quite work out. On the counter attack, Diaby comes flying forward. It's 2-on-2. Ollie Watkins tries to find his way into the centre. John McGinn's arriving late. The cross was poor. The cross was poor. 2 minutes at a time. Nicely, quickly done for Lucas Paquetá, but it's cut out. Two teams who counter-attacking wise haven't been incredible today. We started off relatively well, but it's gotten worse. It's gotten significantly worse as time's gone on. Singing the bells. If we have another bell, we can do a poll quickly before half-time, and then I'll bring one in for the start of the second half. All ball over the top, looking for Mikel Antonio, just a little bit too far ahead of him from Paquetá there. Yeah, we're just not firing on all cylinders today at all. Yeah, we are. There's been a couple of opportunities where we've gotten into great positions. It's just not quite happened for whatever reason. There's been enough calls for bells where I will do a poll now, which will end at half-time. Bell, yes or no? Going in, should be able to see it now. If it passes at the beginning of the second half, we will straight bell. No messing. But there is a poll in chat right now. Bell, yes or no? Villa calmly passing it around. Pinged over the top, looking for Digne. Short into Diaby, doesn't quite work out. Villa passing it around. It's not been a great football match. Kamara. They're just passing it around at the moment here. Villa trying to find their way into the box. Zaniolo just sort of moving around. Him and Diaby have switched sides at the moment. There is the halftime whistle. Not a poor performance so far from us, I think is the easiest way to put it. And the most obvious way to put it. I'll tell you what, the bell pull was very close. I'll end it when Geo gets here. Yeah, not the best performance we've ever seen. I think we're just lacking. The balls. It just isn't clicking for us. It just isn't clicking for us well enough. I think we've gotten into okay positions, but we've wasted every single one of them. There's been very few where we haven't just completely flopped the opportunity. It's really frustrating to watch because when you can't, like, Unai Emery teams are decent at defending. They can defend, right? Like when they're on their day, I should say, they can really compact themselves and defend really well. And they've obviously got the lead in a way that's similar and useful for us when we do that, where they can compact and do their thing well. But we've still managed in those opportunities. Earlier on, we had some really nice opportunities, but still in the later stages when they are 1-0 up and they can go compact, we still have, for example, the final two chances with Soufal on the right and then the other one with Antonio on the left, where we've gotten into good positions, but we just need to pull it back. Instead of trying to put in these pile drive crosses from Antonio, which makes no sense, or trying to loft it in like Soufal's been doing, just pull it back. People are getting into those positions. We're wasting these opportunities where we haven't done recently. And that's the big difference for me between today and between last time, is we're wasting these opportunities where we just haven't done recently. We haven't been anywhere near good enough, if we're being honest about it, in those positions. I think defensively, it's difficult to know what to do, because they're creating a lot of good opportunities, Villa, and they're doing it from lots of different angles. We haven't been able to do our usual force them out wide and just put them into crossing constantly. We haven't been able to find that sort of defensive solidity that we usually have. And so instead of the opportunities, Gio, where, Villa end up going out wide and crossing in, instead of seeing that, what we're seeing a lot more often is we're seeing it come into the likes of Zaniolo and Diaby, who are inside those half spaces and are starting to pull strings, and somehow they're managing to find good passes into Ollie Watkins. But it just, in general, we just haven't, I don't know, that defensive side of it just isn't there from us at all today.
No, Souček's in no man's land. He's not helping out defensively, and he's not helping out offensively. He's sort of lingering between the two, and it's creating a lot of space for them. But this is how Diaby and Zaniolo play. It's frustrating because this is nothing new. I've seen Villa do this plenty of times this season. That's where Diaby wants to be, and it's working. And I need to see the go back, but Alvarez isn't in the middle of the pitch when he's supposed to be. He's out helping out the right back at one point. So defensively, we're okay in the 18-yarders. Outside the 18-yarder, we're all over the park at the minute. Not great, Charlie.
Yeah, I going forward as well. Like we've just been wasteful. Like you just see these opportunities where like the two ones at the end with Antonio on the left and Soufal on the right, where just pull it back. Pull it back, like Antonio's one for a start. I know it's on his weaker foot, but no one's getting on the end of that.
I about to say it's not that we're Soufal's been pretty wasteful, but it's Antonio. Antonio's been shit. I can't remember one good thing he's done. He's hit the side netting. His pass out to the right when it was the most easily intercepted pass ever. He hooked into the box at one point. He wasn't even near a West Ham player. He just sort of hooked it in. He's hit it off Matty Cash at one point. He just booed it at him, stood a yard away, just made it look like he was trying to cross it and just hit Matty Cash. And Antonio is god awful today. Absolutely awful. Now I'm going to give Moy the benefit of the doubt. I would have liked to see Kudus start over Antonio, but I get it. I do get it. I try and separate what I want to, what I think Moyes will do and why Moyes will do it. I get why he started Antonio. What I won't get is if he puts Antonio back out for the second half.
Yeah, it's just the lack of options, right? That's the big problem.
What?
No, but I'm not convinced by Kudus. I know people say Kudus, but I'm not convinced by him in the striker role. I love Kudus. I want to see him play. I love him in the 10 position. I love him out wide. But up front, I don't know if that's the option. The other option, I guess, we're late enough in the game where I think our best option from and I spoke about this on the Patreon on Analytics recently, right? But I think our second best striking option, apart from Ubama is such an obvious thing that we just, but I just discount that because it's just never going to happen, right? I think is Paquetá up front with Kudus in the 10 position. I love the way that ends up working out, and then you have to bring on someone on the left usually, so you probably have to bring on Ben Rama, right? Like, I think we're late enough in the game to do that. I wouldn't want to see us start with that, but I think we're late enough in the game now where you can do that and try and do something different because I think it will build. But like, it's just so annoying because we only have Antonio as an option apart from Ubama, but I just write that off because it's just never going to happen.
Yeah, honestly, Antonio's shockingly bad in the first half. It's not even like he's played poorly. The last couple of times there was that last chance there when we had the counter attack. Ward Prowse was running with it. And Antonio was out on the left. I was generally thinking, do not pass to Antonio. Just do not. He passed it to him. He had to. He passed it to him, and lo and behold, he belted into the side net. And I never, when he got it, I wasn't like, oh, here we go. Not like Soufal. When Soufal gets, I'm still like, here we go. Is he going to do something? He's been pretty poor with us. His crossing been poor, but I'll tell you what, at least they're beating the first man and staying in the 18-yarder. When Antonio's had it the last couple of times, I've literally not even flinched. I've been like, oh, this isn't going to come to anything. Shock, lo and behold, it hits the side netting. He is awful today. This is his worst performance for some time, I think.
Yeah.
He can't come out for the second half. He just can't. He has to change it. I think I would love to see Moyes be bold. The thing is, this Villa defence is there to be got at. We've had
100%.
We've had chances to create chances. Does that make sense? We haven't created anything clear cut yet, but we've been getting into positions with Antonio, with Soufal. We've had bits and pieces centrally as well. Bowen's coming in field and linking up quite well. Paqueta's going in field. We've had opportunity to create something. We haven't done it yet. Those opportunities will still be there in the second half. And I would argue that the way the game's been played so far, it's quite open. There's a lot of room behind that Villa defence. We've seem to have a tactic of getting over the top of that Villa defence. It's working. That is working. Stick with it. We don't have to get rid of that. We just need to change the personnel. Get Antonio off and either go Kudus up there, put Bowen up there, put Kudus out in the right, put Bama up there. If he wants to go full bollocks, get Antonio and Souček off and put Kudus and Mubama on and go for it in the second half, because this Villa team's there to be got at. We will concede chances, and my worry is that while I think we might score in the second half, I think we'll also concede in the second half. That's the problem. But he cannot come out in the second half. You just can't, Charlie. That was a shocking performance.
Yeah, I agree. I'll run off to the toilet. I'll just say this. I know Kudus is fast. Someone's like, Kudus is well fast. Yeah, I'm aware of that. And you only have to watch it for 2 seconds to see quick. There's just a big difference between being fast and leading the line. They're two completely separate things.
Yeah,
but you're saying like Kudus is fast as if I'm going, oh, Kudus is very slow. I'm not just saying that. Don't get me wrong. He's very quick. Anyway, I'll be back in a minute. I'm going to
Cheers. Thank you very much, Charlie. Right, let's see what you're all saying in the live chat. Get your thoughts in about the game thus far. Escort wants to see Kudus on. Luke says Antonio's been so wasteful. It's a shame given they're playing with such a high line. Need to get Kudus on. Ismar says we're not taking advantage of Ward Prowse as a trailer to play the final ball to. Dean says get Kudus on the right. You would absolutely annihilate Dean. He looks suspect. Digital says we've got no out ball when Antonio's not on it. Greg saying, bet you any money, Antonio. Oh, I fully expect Antonio to come out for the second half. I fully expect him to. And the worst thing is, it's going to deflate me. If Antonio, he will come out in the second half, and it'll deflate me. I will genuinely be a bit. It's hard to sort of get excited off the back of that performance. Mancunian says they've been better side. Moyes makes no change at half time. He will be rightly criticised by his haters. I agree with that. I completely agree with that word at all. Fred says Moyes half-time talk to come. Bang in trouble now. Can he prove me wrong? Johnny said, could Ariel have done better? Took a slight nick off a gear, but I guess power will beat him. Yeah, do you know something? I think, given his save from Douglas Luiz, maybe not so much the Watkins one, it's a save that I would maybe expect him to make, but the save from Luiz in particular was outstanding, and I do feel that the nick off a gear probably completely threw him out, Areola. Could he have done? I know what you're saying, Rick. I was a bit like that. It looked a bit weak from Areola, but on the replay, it does seem a little bit unfortunate, perhaps. Danny says Bowen's been great. Do you know something? I agree with that. I think Bowen's having an excellent game, by the way. Antonio's getting the ball away. I don't know how many times, and I'm worried if anyone passes to him because he might give it away again or his final. I completely agree with everything you've said there, Danny. I'm the same with Antonio. When he's got it recently, I'm a bit. Paul says we'll go 2 down. Moyes will make a change, then we'll score it and left. What we might. You can see it coming, can't you? You can see it coming. Sam says Antonio and Kudus off. Antonio Souček off, Kudus and Benram on. Move Paqueta up front and Kudus behind him. John agrees on Antonio. He can't come out for the second half. Called it before the game, though always poor after international break. The worst thing is everybody seen it. You know, everybody knew. Everybody sort of suggest. And Nathan said my favourite Paqueta is trying to be a show pony. I mean, there's not much I can say, Nathan, except that I think Paqueta's having a wonderful game. We did a video, Nathan. We did a video. It was actually your comment I pulled up. I deleted your name because I don't want you to get like grief. But I know you keep saying he gives the ball away. I don't care. But that ball he played over the top and Martinez caught it. I don't care. I want to see Paqueta trying those passes. I think he's having a really good game personally. Maybe I'm biased, but I'm not going to complain about someone like Paqueta giving the ball a bit too much when he's trying adventurous things. Like I said, I don't care if we don't know how Kudus will go up front. I don't care if we don't know how Kudus will go up front. All knows will be better than what we. Do you know something? I like Kudus up front. I disagree with Charlie. It's possible. We disagree. I've seen him up front for Ajax. played well. Scott says, new to start Antonio, just predictable how he'd perform. This is what frustrates me about Moyes. 90% of fans wouldn't have started him. Moyes obviously agree with all that, Scott. My videos can prove this one. Preview, I'd like Kudus to start. We did the video yesterday, predicted 11, Antonio. If anyone downloaded FanHub, by the way, let me know, because I'd imagine a lot of you got 11 out of 11 on the first week. So if you're one of those people with 100% on FanHub, let me know in the live chat. If you don't know what I'm talking about, I'll maybe cover it in the video tomorrow. Stevie says, our negative tactics are coming home to roost. Boys, I think we're playing well and unlucky. But do you know what I will say, right? I think this is going to be unpopular going by a live chat. I don't think we're playing that bad in the first half. I think 10, 15 minutes before they scored, I thought they completely dominated us. The first 10 minutes of the game and the last 10 minutes of the half, 10, 15 minutes of the half there. So the middle 20 minutes, we were out of it. But the first 10, the last 15, I thought we played all right, actually. It's just that, honestly, I don't like blaming one person. Antonio's been that bad. I'm struggling not to blame him. He's had the ball in so many good opportunities today, so many good positions he's had it, and he's killed it. He's killed the attack completely. I'm struggling to not just blame Antonio for this. I think our tactics are kind of right. The ball over the top, I like it. We're trying it. Aguerd's trying it. It's working. The Charlie's right, the middle of the pitch defensively, where Alvarez is, we're struggling there. But I don't think we're playing that bad. I think we've got a little bit of something about us. We can get a goal here. The problem is it's keeping them out. That's the problem. Yolo says Paqueta's playing the right passes, but Antonio can't get onto them. Aaron, who is Scarborough Hammer, Aaron said, we haven't been that bad, just wasteful and pumped. That's how I see it. That's how I see it, Aaron. We're going to concede chances. We need to get Kudus and Benny on for Souček and Antonio. Arthur said Moyes won't come on and do a sub until the 80th minute, or if we go 2 down. He's always reactive, never proactive. Mancunian says the midfield 3 have been dominated by Villa's midfield. Disappointing as they've been terrific. Yeah, I agree. Souček's too far forward. When we're doing our defensive thing, Souček's not involved. And when we're going forward, Souček's not involved. I feel like he's in no man's land today, Souček. He's not really contributing at either end. Lewis says Emerson's a joy to watch. Him or Paqueta for having the use of. I think Emerson's been incredible so far this season. Yuri says it's been some time since the players maybe as frustrated as Antonio has in the first half. Souček's also been poor. I don't think Souček's been poor. I just think Souček's been uninvolved. He's not done anything wrong. He's just not doing anything right. Marky says Torres at the back is awful. I agree. If Antonio had a brain, he'd hang on his shoulder. I know, I don't get it. Honestly, Marky, I don't get it. I don't know why he's going up against Gonzo. He's having a really good season, and Torres has been a bit shaky. But anyway, Slim's face said that chance Paqueta had thought he could have done better with that. Yeah, I don't think he knows how much time he's got. I think he probably assumed he was offside, but I don't know. Gregory said I don't mind him doing that, but Paqueta was shocking for the goal. Bailey says Antonio's been pictured today, but Paqueta, James Ward-Prowse, Souček and Alvarez all with the worst performances to date so far this season. Paul thinks Paqueta, Bowen and Emerson have been decent. I agree with Bowen. I think Bowen and Emerson have been our 2 best players in the first half. Slenders doesn't see how anyone can complain about Paqueta. He's our best player by a country mile, and he's been amazing today. It's funny how everyone sees it differently. Some think Paqueta's having a bad game, and some people think he's having a really good game. But
I personally think he's playing very well.
I think he's playing well too, but
not like the best game he's ever played in his life.
I think he's.
But
I think he's doing all right. Last one, Hammer 1999, going up top. Will time his runs better, make better decisions, and make me confident if we get 1-on-1. Paqueta in the centre can slide the ball through. Tell you what, that frustrated me when that ball bounced and Antonio took it, but Bowen could have got onto it, but Antonio took it and Bowen moved away to let Antonio have it. Oh, I was just frustrated because I thought Bowen's in here and then he didn't. But anyway, Mr. Walsh, I will go disappear and go watch the second half. I'm going to say we lose 2-1. I think we'll both score in the second half.
All right, I'll stick with
Antonio back out.
Yeah, yes, he is. Yeah.
Oh, for fuck's.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much, Geo. You can see him more, of course, at full time where he'll be live on the channel. doing a cheeky review with Gonzo. The poll passed, so we'll be getting in with that. But the teams have come out, no changes for either side. I believe I was looking at it as they came out. I didn't see any changes. Sort of looking at the graphics as they go across. Although having said that, the North Idaho TV Network takes this moment to fail on me. That's fine. That's fine. But yeah, so no changes at half time. Wasn't expecting there to be any. Wanted it, but didn't expect it. Trying to find our way forward, and Villa trying to find their way forward. Taking out Matty Cash on that wide right hand side. It's going to be a free kick. We're going straight in. It was called for before the half time came. The poll passed, so we're just getting straight in. We're not messing about. I'm going to have to sort of like take it in bits though. We'll take it in bits. I'm so confident that we won't see him when we talk about things we need to do. I never bother talking about it because I'm so confident he's not going to get game time. It sucks, but it's true. Free kick, right hand side. Dinya plays it short to Douglas Luiz. Ball over the top. Bubakar Kamara looking for the head. Zuma's still down. He's back up now, that's fine. And we force Villa back to the halfway line. Well defended in the end, but it wasn't very well attacked, if we're being honest about it. They do, to be fair. I do like a set piece coach, you know. Guy who comes in and just does interesting things, you know. Like Liverpool with the throwing coach they had. Headed down, Alvarez. It's bouncing around in the midfield, a bit of head tennis going on. Sofao comes away with the ball. Bowen. Short to Sofao. Oh, nice little flick inwards there. It's the path of Souček. Him and James Ward-Prowse swapping sides would have been one of the things I would have done. I don't know why we've switched that up today, but him and James Ward-Prowse would have been one of the things. We usually see Souček on the far right, on the right hand side of the two, and James Ward-Prowse on the left hand side. And for some reason, we switched that round today. I'm not really sure why, but as Gio was saying, he sort of got caught in no man's land a lot of the time, Souček, and it's not been the biggest vibe you've ever seen in the world. So yeah, I'm glad they seem to have swapped, although we'll see how that plays out longer. That might just be for that one moment. Love that. Ritesh is coming through with the facts, bro. 4-3-1. It's happening, Ritesh. Come on, you Irons. Let's go. Let's go. Good to see you, by the way, bro. Big ping over the top, laid forward. Diaby on the ball. Well, it's a great ball in, looking for Watkins, and I tell you what, it's well cut out though by Kurt Zouma. Well cut out by Kurt Zouma. So I was eating food partway through, and I still have some in front of me, and I did just almost knock it all over in front of me. I have the corner of a peanut butter toasted sandwich, which is disgusting. I have a macaroon, which is very exciting, but those will be eaten at some point soon. Those will be eaten at some point soon. Not quite yet. Not quite yet. I did just. It's placed very precariously right now. Anyway, Villa come forward from the corner. Not great. Pulled across. Paquetá with a block. Battles with Kamara for it. Look at lacking options here. He's forced into an awkward position. That's a penalty, surely. That's a penalty, surely. Referee does point to the spot. Alvarez gives away a penalty. It was poorly done there from... It was poorly done from... West Ham. Thank you. Thank you. Bowl of potatoes. What a time to be alive. But it is a penalty to Aston Villa. Yeah, it was a definite pen. I don't know. Is it Luis Concert. It's Concert. Just who gets the ball. He's in front of him. It's just clumsy from Alvarez. There were no real good options there, to be honest with you. There were no real good options at all from. Paquetá had the ball and he's holding it up, and it just was like there was nothing there for him. So he ends up having to play a slightly risky pass back, which doesn't end up working out at all, and Villa get a penalty from it. It's a penalty. Douglas Luiz to take. Can he get his second of the game? Annoyingly, it's probably likely. Areola, not exactly a penalty saving king. Whistle goes. Douglas Luiz steps up. Little skip. Straight down the middle, yeah. I always assume when we get a penalty against Areola, it's going to be a goal. He's not exactly a penalty saving guy. It's not our day, is it? It's just not our day. At all. What can you do? 2-0. 2-0 Aston Villa. Let's do the score up here. Just add that there. Second goal of the day for Douglas Luiz. Just powers it down the centre. Yeah, whenever we have a penalty, I'm just like, it's going to go in. Not our day today, and I don't suspect it's going to get much better from here, so, it is what it is. What can you do? Apart from subs or changing things, what can you do? That's the spirit. We're bringing faith. I just don't see it right now, If I saw some glimpses, and there's been chances where, like Geo worded it, right? There's been chances to create a chance. But, like, I don't know. We just don't tend to... I don't know. We'll see. Stu, I hope you're right, mate. I hope you're right. I know. It's the way the cookie crumbles or the bell swallows. First of all, Elder Taker, unreal. I thought it was a bit crap. Like, realistically, fun seeing Undertaker and all that. But for him to just come out and, like, choke slam Bron and be like, I'm good. It's like, all right, man, you're also about 60 years old at this point, I don't know. Weren't for me, is what I'll say. Weren't for me. Not saying it was the worst thing I've ever seen in my life, but certainly not for me. Not what I would have done. But we got to see Undertaker, so vibes, I guess, right? Vibes. Emerson picks up a yellow, means he'll miss the game against Everton. Shock. Villa free kick, wide on the right-hand side, next to the touchline, 10 minutes into the second half. They're going to take it. Douglas Luiz is going to be the one on top of it to put it into the box. Whips it in. And away from Kurt Zouma. Digne on a follow-up cross blocked by Edson Alvarez. I've already had a bell, Smee. I feel like there needs to be some sort of... I guess it's been 10 minutes. But I feel like there needs to be some sort of, like, time. I doubt it, Davis. Maybe. We'll see. I think we've got that. But it just doesn't feel like our day. We're just not really playing very well. bloody hell, whips into the box and Areola punches it away. The cross from the corner came straight at Areola, and he does well to sort of adjust and punch it. But yeah, they do seem to have permanently swapped sides. Souček is also seems to be a lot more defensive than he was. Seems to be a lot more defensive than he was. Paquetá's very central right now. I don't know, there's a lot of interesting things going on. Played across to Zuma. Looking for something. Sorry. Apologies. Suspect that was probably incredibly loud. Sorry. Bowen picks up the ball wide on the right. Hits it, deflects. Oh, yes. There we go. It was the only way possible for us to score was a huge deflection. But there we go. It's happened and it's in. That's the important thing. The important thing is the history books will say that was definitely Jared Bowen kicking that into the net. I don't want to hear about deflections. I've changed my mind. It didn't deflect. It went straight in. It was a screamer. Top bins. Not having it. Banger. Absolute banger. Ball gets played to Jared Bowen on the right-hand side. Cuts inside. Hits it from range. I'll be honest with you. It was never going in. Well, maybe it was. I don't know. It looked like it was going wide to me for a second. But it takes a big deflection off Pau Torres, which is wrong for Emi Martinez, and it ends up in the back of the net. You love to see it. It's 2-1. The history books will say it. Bowen, goal. Put it in the history books. Write it up. 2-1. Oh. Jared Bowen becomes the third player in Premier League history to score in the first 5 away games of the season, alongside Mo Salah and Thierry Henry. Not exactly bad company. You were right, Stu. Stu, you were right. I stand corrected. This is like when I said Paquetá was however what I said it was, and Lee corrected me again, all over again. I was wrong. I was wrong, and I'm happy to be that. That was really hot. That was a mistake. I'm going out literally the second this ends. I'm having to run out to meet my girlfriend somewhere. So she made me potatoes and stuff before, because I'm not going to get time to eat today otherwise. I just shoved one in my mouth. It was a mistake. The heat was right. Free kick wide on the left hand side. James Ward-Prowse to take it, whips it in. Alvarez attacking it. Emi Martinez comes flying out and punches it though. Soufal, oh, that's enough. It's a lovely. I'll tell you what, Soufal. It's a little bit too much for James Ward-Prowse to handle, but I tell you what, the whip was lovely. The whip on that one, just like, Jared Bowen, first 5 Premier League away, goals against Bournemouth, Brighton, Luton, Liverpool, now Villa, with an assist for good measure against Brighton as well. He's having a great season. Undeniable, as a man once said. Well, nicely done by Jared Bowen there, just knocking it past Matty Cash on one side. Oh, he does really well. I tell you what, Jared Bowen has come out in this second half a man possessed. He's doing brilliantly, and Paquetá finds him. Pulls it across, was looking for Antonio, couldn't quite find him. Well cut out. Wasn't the best cross with his weak foot in the end from him, but he does really well. Alvarez is asking for a handball there, but referee waves play on. I mean, the Aston Villa player has decided to stay down. He definitely handballed it, by the way. Like 1000% handballed it. Zaniola stays down and the referee ends up pulling it back, which is insane because nothing happened. In my opinion, Zaniolo went down there because he handballed it. He's screaming. Jamie Carragher is fuming, by the way. Jamie Carragher just literally went, no, I've had enough of this. We had a really good counter-attack, and now we have to wait for Zaniolo to get his head seen to because he... Oh, whatever. Literally nothing happened. Don't get me wrong, there's a tap on the head, but it's like, it's the equivalent of like, nothing happens. And we're on the counter, so we have the ball, we're playing it around, and the referee has to blow the whistle and put it back. It's just... Very incredulous there from Jamie Carragher. So if you're listening to Sky Sports as I am on the North Idaho TV network, he's been complaining about the fact that people do this for too much for about 5 minutes. Zaniolo, by the way, perfectly fine to come back on the pitch now. Shock. He goes, Jamie Carragher's on a rampage right now. Sorry. So he's been complaining for about 5 minutes, right, about the fact that players go down too easy holding their heads because they know they're going to have to stop the game now. And he goes, and then who's the main comm? Is it Peter Drury? I don't know. I never I know the voices, but I never remember who it is. He goes. So what's the solution? And he just goes, play on, in a very Jamie Carragher-esque way. And then after like a little bit of silence, we cut across to Zaniolo, who's standing on the side of the pitch, ready to come on, as I said. And he goes, well, Zaniolo's okay now. And then Jamie Carragher goes, it's okay about 5 minutes ago. I love it. I'm here for Jamie Carragher's incredulous rants against head injuries. It's true. It's true. It's true. I wear headphones literally non-stop. It's actually a problem. It's actually a problem. Good to see you, Draconian, by the way. I haven't seen you around today, so good to see you, bro. All played into Antonio, trying to find his way forward. I mean, you're screaming this, right? And I appreciate your point, Genuine, right? First of all, what a name. Second of all, I appreciate it, right? I will say maybe don't spam it, although you stopped for a while, but you have been all capsing quite a bit. What I will say is this: Paqueta is, or Paqueta, however you want to pronounce it, is quite literally playing in the number 10 position right now. Like, he is playing centrally right now. I personally disagree with your point, okay? I like Paqueta on the left, right? I personally disagree with you, but that's by the by. I understand your reasoning. I understand most people's reasoning when they say it. I think it's calm, right? Kudus is coming on. I think that's fine. But what I will say is in the second half, Paqueta is literally playing in the centre. But here, Kudus is coming on and we have a corner. I tell you what, we're starting to build a little bit of momentum here. Stu was right. You know? I believe it was Limp Bizkit who once said, you've got to have faith. Played in from the corner. Alvarez rises, can't quite get it. Oh, again. Again with a what can only be described as a Zlatan-esque shot. The ball about up here, gets his foot up and volleyed it with the connection on it was absolutely beautiful. And I think it probably would have gone straight into the hands of Emi Martinez, but Matty Cash just dives in the way of it with his head. Gets it away. Mad. Mad. But we will be seeing Kudus sooner rather than later. He is stripped off and ready. How long it takes, we'll see. Potential handball. I don't think it is his hand, by the way. We're getting a VAR check for a handball on... Is it Cash? I think it very clearly hits his head personally, but... Oh, is it off again? I don't know. Either way, I don't see there being a handball anywhere, to be honest with you. I don't see a handball anywhere, I'll be honest with you. Corner to West Ham. James Ward-Prowse to take it. What are you looking for? Glasses. They're there. Whipped in. Just wide. You're welcome. Judas, my trustworthy friend, is here as well. I hope you and Mrs. Judas are well, sir. I hope you and Mrs. Judas are well, my trustworthy friend. Gonna be another corner. James Ward-Prowse is the one who's making way for Mohamed Kudus. Oh no, he's not making way. He's coming across to take the corner. Okay, I thought he was clapping as he came off. I was like, it just seemed very odd for me for him to be walking across to the corner, being clapping like that. I thought it was him coming off. No, apparently it's fine. I'd be surprised if he came off given set piece stuff. Whipped in, header over the bar. Jared Bowen always underneath it, leaning back. Well over. Here is Kudus. Kudus is making his way onto the pitch, ladies and gentlemen. Who's it going to be for? My gut says it'll be Souček. It is for Souček. Okay. So for Souček. Well, it means he's either playing on the left or in the 10 position, right? He's either playing on the left or in the 10 position. Don't know which one. We'll find out. Paquetá's been playing in the centre, so maybe on the left. He seems to be on the left. Be interested to see how Kudus plays there. He's never played there, really. So, to my knowledge, he's not really. A little bit of miscommunication there between Cash and Diaby, which we will take. But yeah, be interested to see how that ends up playing out. Because he's not someone who's been not someone who's been about on the left. Really. So I'd be interested to see how he does it well. Paquetá asking for the long ball. And he gets it straight to the chest as well. Can't quite get the control, but you'll have to see it. Zaniolo finds Ollie Watkins. Tell you what, Ollie Watkins, a couple of years ago, right, when he was at Brentford. What do you think he'd be playing with Zaniolo, Diaby, at Aston Villa? Played out wide to Mikel Antonio on the left-hand side. Takes on Matty Cash. These are short. Emerson just blocked off there. He looks towards the ref and asks it. I feel like no. Isn't that a thing they don't they just have water? Like, is this a thing? I've been told that they don't drink milk. So ask my girlfriend. She's the intelligent one with cats. But like, I feel like they don't drink milk. I feel like that's like a thing. They're like, actually, it's just like water's their vibe. Since West Ham's goal, we've had 67% possession, 3 shots. They've had none. We've had 1 on target. They've had none. We've had 4 touches in their box. They've had none. We've been the much better. We've been not the much better, but certainly since the goal, we've been the much better. And in the second half in general, I would say we've been the better team. We had a notable, massive mistake in us, but apart from that, is there? Because Cat just gets water. I didn't know that. Looking wide for Kudus on the left. It's also left-footed. It just doesn't feel right playing him out there, but still. Nice ball out wide from Alvarez to Paquetá. Plays it on to Sofal on the underlap. Dinks it in. Antonio was there. Bowen was there. None of them could get there. Sofal. Wow. Yeah, easy. See, this is what I thought was the case. But I also don't know for certain. But this is what I thought was the case, to be fair. But again, I'm not intelligent about these things, you know. They can drink milk, but it's not like a thing where we have stereotyped it. I don't think cats prefer milk. Mum always gives her cat. Oh my god, that was so close. Oh my god, we almost scored. And we won it back again. We've won the back ball in high, good areas today. It's just we've not been anywhere near consistent enough with it. But we've done that well. I wish we'd done it more because it's so good when we do it. I played through by Ward-Prowse into the path of Jared Bowen, pulls it back across. Cut out well, I'll tell you what, by David Luiz. And now they can counter-attack. A good opportunity for Aston Villa. They've not really had too many of them. John McGinn. Alvarez does well just to stop him there. Diaby was just sort of wide right in no man's land on the touchline. Fight across the areola. Jesus. Jesus Christ. Played short. Jared Bowen boots it long. You love to see it. Charging forward. Michael Antonio pulls it across. Oh, Michael Antonio pulls it across. It's almost like when he hits it stronger foot, it's slightly better. One-footed machine. But he takes on Pau Torres, takes him on, beats him, fires it across. That's a beautiful low drive. Again, not putting it in for someone's head, just driven it across the box into that no man's land, and Matty Cash almost scores an own goal. We're gonna get a corner again from it. We've been so much better recently. So much better. Oi, Nigel. Oi, none of that, Nige. None of that. I do. Alright? Disgraceful opinion. Played in, looking for Zuma and Alvarez at front post. Can't quite make it work. Alvarez has the ball. He's holding it off well. Oh, nice little dink round Ward-Prowse there. Deflected cross will take it. Although I appreciate Nigel, maybe not in this exact context of watching a West Ham match. I appreciate that. However, no cat slander, please. No cat slander, please. We're going to get another corner again. James Ward-Prowse did really well. Sorry if that was loud. James Ward-Prowse did really well there. One of the Villa players is down. Is it McGinn? I think it's McGinn. There's a huge crowd of players around him. Referee nowhere to be seen. Oh, guys, don't worry. John McGinn's back up. Well, one of the most pathetic things I've ever seen there from John McGinn. Watkins and Alvarez are just pushing each other. Watkins pushes him. His arm clips John McGinn, who decides, hang on, I'm dead. Whips in from the corner. Over the top of everyone, Emi Martinez collects it. Very, just mighty pathetic. Oh, Emi Martinez is hurt now, guys. He's hurt. He's doing this with his hand as if his hand's hurt. He's also limping slightly. I'm not sure what's happened with him, but he's in pain. He's in pain. I usually find it quite funny. Today it's really annoying. Today it's really annoying. What can you do? What can you do? Kudus battling for it, loses out to Matty Cash. Baby, if I can touch your body. Kudus trying to cut that one out, can't manage it. Oh, that's a really nice ball from McGinn over the top for Ollie Watkins. He's in a good position. Diaby's alongside him. Smashes it in. It's 3-1. It's 3-1. He does really well there, Ollie Watkins. The ball over the top. We just couldn't cut it out. Kudus tries to get onto it. Can't stop it. Played as John McGinn, who plays a really nice... Again, when you're ahead, it's such... We talk about it in terms of West Ham all the time. When you're ahead, you can sit, you can soak up, and you can hit counter-attacking. And one of the good things about Villa's team is they are equally capable of playing nice balls in and around the box when they're in control of the game, but also when they are backs against the wall, defending like they are currently, you have those players like Ollie Watkins, like Diaby, who can hit you on the counter-attack brilliantly. Ball gets played to John McGinn. The ball into Ollie Watkins is really, really nice. Kurt Zuma trying to get touch tight to him is an interesting decision. Loses out for pace for obvious reasons. Little step over, one side. Stops Kurt Zuma. Just gives him enough to stop him from thinking just a little bit. Puts it onto a stronger foot and then just absolutely smashes it home. Aston Villa 3, West Ham United 1. As previously stated, it's not our day. It's not our day at all. Brief glimmer of hope was fun. Now, 'tis over. 'Tis over. Ah, well. Ah, well. Oh, Stu, you're right. Fair play. Oh, bless me. Bless me again. Sorry, usually I mute myself, but I had to click off the thing where I mute myself to see. Stu, you're right. You're right. Oh. Load of rubbish. Never believed in it. Oh. Anyway. 3-1. Leon Bailey is on. I should probably take this off now. I think it's inaccurate. Leon Bailey has come on for Zaniolo. What am I looking for? God knows. Played forward, the RB, trying to cross it into it's a decent cross, but way too far ahead of Watkins. It's a really good finish. He just wrong foot Zuma. It's not even, he doesn't even wrong foot Zuma massively. It's just enough to give him that space and near post. I mean, it's one of those things where you should never, I feel like you should never be beaten at near post like that if you're a goalkeeper a little bit. That's it's one of those things where I'll just say with my chest out as if that makes sense, despite having played as a goalkeeper and knowing that it's not the case. But at the same time, rough. Ollie Watkins in his last 4 Premier League appearances, 5 goals and 3 assists. Madness. Just eating boiled potatoes, you know the vibe. You know how we roll. Digne passes it back, finds Martinez. Yeah, we've just not been good enough. We've had spurts where we've been good enough, but overall we've just been nowhere near good enough, have we, if we're being honest about it. It's a shame, but it is the way it is. There's not really much you can do about it. Sometimes you have these days. We've had such a good season so far this season. We've come unstuck today. That happens, you know. It's all about bouncing back from this. I say that, there's still 12 minutes to go, and we've seen with, for example, the Spurs game, we're very capable of coming back into things. But at the same time, it doesn't feel like we have the ability to today. Big ball over the top. Paquetá looking to control it down. Can't quite make it work. Ball is played on. Out to Watkins again. Same position he was in the last time he scored. This time, Soufal is back and Zuma is in a slightly better position, and a cross or pass from Watkins is poor. We can come away with it, looking for the counter attack. Cut out. It's the same difference, bro. Literally the same difference. I don't think we've been good enough today. You won't see. Look, how do I word this? Let me think how to word this. I don't like. I very sort of publicly say that I don't like David Moyes, but right now I do think he deserves to be our manager. Right? I understand not liking his tactics and everything else. I don't particularly like his tactics either. Oh, Mikel Antonio's really well there. There was no options for him, so he just pile drives a shot. And to be fair, he has to force Emi Martinez to palm it away from him. Doesn't work out, but he does well, and we come away with the ball. We'll come back. Free kick to us against NLB. We've been really good this season. I don't think we need to. I understand not liking David Moyes. I don't particularly like him myself. I don't like the David Moyes in-out debate just because I feel like it's way too clear-cut, and I don't think it's that clear-cut a thing. But I think this season we've been brilliant, and I don't think there's anything wrong with saying that. I think we've been better than we have been for several years. I think defensively we've still been good. I think attacking-wise we've been significantly better. We've integrated the players we've brought in really, really well. It's all come together in a really nice package, and we're going really strongly in the league. To say, you can say David Moyes has been out-thunk, and which is not the word, I know, and the team outfought. And I don't think you're necessarily incorrect. I don't think David Moyes has been outfought, like in terms of intelligence. I just think realistically, it happens. You know, it happens. We're not playing too well. Aston Villa are playing relatively well. In the first half, they were really good. It happens. It is the way it is. I don't think it needs to be that deep. Sometimes these things happen. You can't play to your best of your abilities every single game without fail. And the run we were on at some point would have to end. It's not about what happens today. It's about what happens in the next game. Today it's fine. We've lost. We move on. It is what it is. You move on. What happens in the next game against Everton is the more interesting thing. How do we bounce back from that? That's where we've got to go from. Bowen almost. Jarrod Bowen's shot deflected almost managed to find its way into the top corner. It's going to be a corner. And again, to be clear, I do not like David Moyes. I don't. I think he's a liar. I don't like him personally. I think he comes across really badly all of the time. I don't like the style of football. But, you know, we also won a European trophy under him, so. Whips it. Oh, it's a good corner. It's to near post, looking for Zuma. It's one of those corners where it's so good, you almost just have to touch it and it goes in. It's close. You can't judge it off one game. This is my point, right? It's one singular game. Like, I don't get me wrong. We are... Thing is, we have consistently battled with teams like Villa because we've been in Europe for 3 seasons in a row now, and we've won a European trophy. So we are consistently battling with teams that are as good as us or better than us. It's not necessarily about you can't have a single game go wrong and then all of a sudden think that everything's gone to crap. It might turn to crap. In 3-4 games, we might go on a ridiculous losing streak, 4 games in a row, lose them all, and everyone could come back to me and say, well, what did you say against Villa? But my point still remains that it's one game. But you can't only the very, very best teams can be consistently great across an entire season. No one is. Villa will have games where they come unstuck and be awful as well. You know? Every single team does it. We've made Man City look silly at times. Now, don't get me wrong, Man City tend to beat us because they're Man City. And they're the best team in the world, probably. But you look at, say, I don't know, we've had times where we've defended so well against Manchester City, it looks like they can't do anything. That's what I'm saying. You can't just judge it off a singular game. And I feel like if you judge the season as a whole right now, we've been doing really well. Today, we haven't been good enough. I think that's clear to say. Like, I don't think it's a case of being outfought tactically. I think it's a case of being outfought on the pitch. But the players haven't been good enough. The tactics haven't really been there. We didn't change things up quick enough. The subs have come too late. Like, nothing has really worked out for us in that sense. It's overall just been really crap. But it's one game. You know, I can't get too mad about it. Once it starts becoming more and more games, then I start to get mad about it. And again, if you go back to the beginning when we started doing the watch-alongs originally, myself and Tom were here, and we both hated Moyes. And we were awful during that time period. We survived, and we got better towards the end of the season, but we were awful. We were quite lucky to stay up, in my opinion. And I was slating him every game. I was like, pow, pow, pow. I was just having a go at him. Now, I don't feel the need to, because it is just one game. It is just one game. It's crap. It's been awful. It's been crap performance. Not an awful performance, but a crap performance. There was a significant chunk of time, maybe a quarter of the game, where we were the better team. But the rest of it, we've been nowhere near good enough, realistically. It's just the way it goes sometimes. Sometimes you're good, sometimes you're bad. Today, we're bad. We're bad. That's not a defense of us today. That's just a case for not hitting the panic button necessarily right now. Do you know what I mean? Yuri Tielemans is coming on for Aston Villa in the meantime. And Danny Ings looks like he's coming on. Isn't that exciting? If you really want to sign that the game's dead and buried, Danny Ings is coming on. We definitely aren't going to do anything now. Diaby coming off for Yuri Tillemans. Be interesting to see who Danny Ings comes on for. Mikel Antonio, I guess. For Paqueta. Oh, it's a bad day, man. It's a bad day. It's a bad day. I mean, look, we all complain when he doesn't play 2 up front with Danny Ings. He's playing 2 up front with Danny Ings, I guess. I guess is the positive I try to take from this situation. Oh, it's done. It's over. It is what it is. If you haven't already, make sure to subscribe, like the video, hit that bell notification button. We do watch alongs all the time on this channel, so make sure to come back in the future because I'd much appreciate you being here. There's 5 minutes left this game. No. It's just a no. It's just a no from me. Tactics are different. The tactics this season and last season are different. The basis of the idea of being a strong, so from Bailey just whizzes wide. The idea of being a defensively strong team is not different. The idea of playing mostly counter-attacking style football is not different. But tactically, this season and last season, we are different. Last season, we were playing a 4-2-3-1. This season, we're playing a 4-1-4-1. Last season, you'd have Paquetá sort of in a midfield 3. This season, he's playing more on the left. There's lots of differences between last season and this season. The idea, the overall idea of playing defensive first, if that's what you're referring to, is not different. But that's never going to change under David Moyes. And that's why that's one of the reasons I don't like David Moyes, is he is a defensive first manager. I don't necessarily like that style. I don't prefer that style. I prefer for us to step out of ourselves and really have a go. That's why I loved Slaven Bilic for all of his faults. And my God, there were a lot of faults by the end of that man's tenure at West Ham. I loved the fact that he went for it and just would not stop going for it. Even when it was like bringing on the poor people, he's like, yeah, let's just bring on Jelic. Let's have 4 strikers on. I'd love that. Completely awful. I'd love it though. I don't like David Moyes' defensive first football. You can't say that tactics. You can't if you're looking at this and saying this is the exact same. Maybe not this game because this game has been crap. But if you're looking at this season as a whole, all the games this season, and going this is exactly the same as last season, then I don't know what you're looking at. There's so many differences. There's so many. Might not be enough. I don't like I say. I don't particularly like Moyes' defensive football, but it is the way it is. Whipped in, head away from Soufal. Bailey on wide on the right hand side now, trying to ping it in towards Watkins. Soufal heads it away. Villa can maintain possession of the ball. Oh, that's great from Leon Bailey. That's great from Leon Bailey. Sometimes you just got to respect it. That's really, really good from Leon Bailey. Really good. And again, they've just got into those positions so easily today. It's just something we have not been able to do. Something we've just not been able to stop. Usually we're really good at it, but today we've been awful at trying to stop these opportunities, and it's just so easy. It's almost like we've given up on the pitch. That's so good from Bailey, by the way. He collects the ball in a tight position. He makes Agerd look like an absolute numpty and then smashes it in top corner. That is a brilliant finish. Gonzo is going to be losing his mind. He loves Leon Bailey. He's going to be losing his mind. It's very good. You just got to look at it and go, that's very good. There's not really much more to say about it. You know, we've been crap defensively. We continue to be crap defensively. They've got into those positions consistently. We've not been able to stop them getting into those positions. We've not been able to deal with them in those positions. And Leon Bailey, just a little drop of shoulder, little thing, smashes it in. You've got to respect it. It's really, really nicely done from Leon Bailey. Maverick, I would say we look significantly worse than that, but I appreciate it. I appreciate it. I would say this, so if I'm being honest, Fornals has come on for Antonio because that's going to change things. Now we've got Danny Ings up front by himself. There's no point. There's literally no point to make subs at this point. I would say this. I've been probably, weirdly, over the last season, I've probably been the most supportive of Moyes on the channel. I will say that, right? I think that's probably fair to say. Which is weird because I've also insulted him the most. But I think I've probably been the most supportive of him. I think this season again is different to last season in terms of like why people have been supportive of Moyes. There are people who have been Moyes out potentially, if you want to word it like that, who are saying some nicer things about David Moyes now because of how well we've started. I don't know. Geo is, I think he's been relatively fair, but I would say if anything, I've probably been the most supportive of Moyes. For right or wrong, disagree with me or not, I think that's fair to say that I probably have been. But at the same time, I'm not a guy who makes videos every day, do you know what I mean? 7 minutes of added time. It's going to be fun. 7 minutes of added time. You might score 3 in that 7 minutes. You never know. You never know. It's still good. It's still good. It's just... Watkins, really nice control down into the path of Bailey. Cross at the end of it was crap, but it was really nicely done in the build up to it. Really nicely done in the build up to it. Kudus picks up the ball. Nice little 1-2 with Fornals. Fires it across goal. Looking for the bottom corner. Probably should have pulled it back for Danny Ings if we're being realistic about it. But a nice little shimmy. 1-2 with Pablo Fornals is really nice. Pablo Fornals, that first time pass back into him is good. Probably would have been difficult to play into the path of Danny Ings, to be fair, so his only option was to shoot. Does well with it. Does okay with it. Passing it around at the moment, the back. These are the sort of situations where you're just like, just blow the whistle, man. There's no point. Like, I get it, 7 minutes. I get the 7 minutes of added time. Villa have gone down about 3 or 4 times. Pablo Fornals is down. Not Pablo Fornals, sorry. So Soufal's down right now. I get it. I understand why there's 7 minutes. But is there a point to it? No, not really. Might as well just end the game there. I mean, you can't. I get it. For accuracy's sake, you can't. But like at the same time, just blow early. Let's all go home, you know. Let's all go home. Eating potatoes, by the way. I saw it pop up. It's flown past. Oh, Greg, it's good to see you. I'm eating potatoes. It's my dinner because I've got to run after this. After this, I've got to flip in, make the quickest thumbnail, and make a thumbnail as quick as humanly possible, and then I've got to run, literally straight out the door. So I haven't had time to eat because I also woke up for the stream. So this is my dinner because I went back to like 12 as well. So this is my breakfast, lunch, and dinner. My potatoes. I had a sandwich. I had a baby bell, and I have a macaroon as well. Should be exciting. Hearing a dog. It's exciting, isn't it? It's exciting, isn't it? Oh, that's funny. Do you know what it is? Do you know what's funny about it? You've been so caps lock about this all the entire time you've been in the chat, just constant caps locks about him playing on the wing. And it's just a lovely twist on it. Do you know what, Genuine? I've changed my mind. Do whatever you want, mate. You've got free reign to just be a madman. Go forth and go wild. Go forth and go wild. If you haven't already, make sure to subscribe, like the video. We of course have the live match review straight after this. So make sure to stick around. Hit that bell notification button so you haven't already, so you don't miss out. Because Geo and I believe Gonzo, although I don't know about that, will be live straight after the game with a full match breakdown of everything that's happened. I suspect they will be angrier than me, if that helps. If that helps, and that's the sort of vibe you're looking for, I suspect they will be angrier than me, so make sure to stick around. Appreciate it, Tim. Tim coming through with the 199. Thank you very much, Tim. It's very kind of you to say. You didn't have to do that at all. But appreciate that, bro. Appreciate it. And may I say, I know everyone is a Spurs fan, I know, but unreal beard. Incredible beard, Tim. Massive, massive respect. Wish I could. Unreal. Stop the damn match. I was thinking about Jim Ross recently. You know? By God. Just good in it. Just good in it. $30 seconds left of a match that, frankly, CBA, you know, at this point. Like I say, remember, Geo will be live straight after this. Do you know what? I forgot to change the title and thumbnail to the watch-along one the entire game. Oh, well, what can you do? Done now. I'm finding the link for the live review so I can spam it and let you all run over there and get involved. Because, like I say, I suspect it will be angrier than me. Well, you've got a higher chance of it being angrier than I am. Let's put it that way. Massive thank you to everyone, by the way, for joining. We've done really well on likes as well. 359. Gone strong on that. Gone strong on that since. We'll be back, of course, for the European game on Thursday. Passing it around. Referee has his lips to the whistle, and there it is. There is the full-time whistle. It ends. Aston Villa 4. West Ham United 1. Well, I did say at the beginning of the game, when we were talking about it in the build-up, I did say that there's a strong... We've seen teams score high amounts of goals who are equal in the Premier League this season, and we see it again. We see it again as Aston Villa smash us 4-1. I'm spamming in the chat currently the link to the live match review, which will be coming up in just a few moments' time. Regardless of that, I massively appreciate your comment. Thank you very much. It's been very kind of you to hang around for this absolute nonsense. There is a link in chat right now. I have also pinned it. Please do head over there for the live match review. Crap game. We move on. Thursday, we'll be back. And last thing to say, thank you very much to James at E20 Zone TV. Thank you very much to Tom, to Tim twice, and of course to Dexter for helping us out with the full-time funds. Massively, massively appreciate it. Helps the channel out hugely. But so does liking the video, which I will ask you all to do on the live match review. So head on over there now, like it when you get there, and I will see you next time. See you later, everyone. Cheers. See you later. Bye.